Everybody, good evening. Yolanda Peterson here, Ride with Peterson. It is 7:30 p.m. on what today's date? It is Friday, November 1st, 2019. And a big accomplishment today. I finally bought a new battery for the truck. As you all know, well, I name all of my cars, all my vehicles. The Yukon XL is Dino. This is Dino, and a few weeks ago, the battery went bad on me, and I've had to rely on jump starts for a bit here and there. And I'm like, I got to get a new battery for this truck. So I was gonna get it at AutoZone, but they wanted $169 for the battery in the car a couple of days ago. And she said, "Oh, I went to Walmart and got a battery for $49.95." I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Walmart and get what they say. That's good because I only need the battery to last until January. I don't need a 3-year warranty. I don't even need a 1-year warranty. I just need the battery to start the truck up so I don't use up all my AAA again, because I have no more AAA until November 20th. So I went to Walmart.com and the battery I need was $120. So I'm like, okay, let me go on ahead and do what I have to do to make this $120. So I'm driving all day today, and I managed to get $134. I'm like, great, this will take care of the battery. I go to the Walmart in Burbank. I'm excited. They got the last one there. I go up to the cash register. The cost of the battery was $147 because I didn't know about core charge. They want your old battery. So, if you go and you get the battery installed and you bring the core back to the Walmart, then you get your $12 back. I'm like, okay, great. So I have to drive some more to get the extra $12 I need to pay for the core. And luckily, I received a call, an XL request from Burbank Airport to the Hilton in Woodland Hills. I'm like, oh, this is great. This is excellent. So sure enough, I got $42 for the ride, plus I received a $3 tip. And I'm like, okay, this is great. This is exciting. So I decided to celebrate, go to Subway and get a nice big lunch. I'm like, man, that lunch was more than I wanted it to be, but I was in a great mood because I bought a brand new battery. And then I looked at the money, and I'm like, okay, I'm still good. I still got the 150 because I set aside 150 on the card. And as I'm driving to the Walmart, the telltale lamp and buzz come on again, low fuel. I'm like, man, this is the last thing I need to see. I ran out all my gas trying to, make this money. And so I said, hey, I had $11 left. I went on ahead, put the $11 in, came over to Walmart, got the battery. I'm excited. So now I got to get it installed. That means I have to pay a visit to the partner tomorrow and say, hey, I got a new battery for the truck. So I mean, there we go. And then I'll be hitting it hard tomorrow and Sunday because I haven't made a dent in Uber trying to pay on what's due for that. But it will be done because I've done it before. That's been my life or so. So I've got the new battery. I don't have to worry about being stranded anymore. When I planned to leave Rideshare, my plan was to be gone from Rideshare today. That was the whole plan. So I'm gonna leave November 1st. But when September 25th or so came around, I realized that I might not be able to leave right on November 1st. And so I said, you know what? Because of Halloween. but I want to make the extra money on Halloween. So I'll stay until November 15th. Um, I made nowhere near as much money as I wanted to make on Halloween, even though it was very busy, and I had back to back to back to back to back XL trips. It was beautiful, but I didn't work the day as hard as I thought I would. Um, I was, however, able to put $65 for the gas in the truck, which was great because I was able to, see the halfway mark for the first time in a long time. And I don't know. Today was good because I made the money necessary to get the battery. There's so much more I could have done with that money instead of putting it in a truck that I don't even own. But if this truck doesn't move, I don't make any money. And if I don't make any money, I've got big problems. So there we are. This is a very unusual live stream because I usually have a bunch of questions by now. And all I have is one by Strength Addicts. Thank you, Strength Addicts, for giving me the hand clap. I appreciate that very much. I needed the hand clap. It makes me feel pretty good. But I just wanted to give an update today. I decided to celebrate the achievement by getting a Blue Bunny turtle ice cream. Today it's sponsored by Blue Bunny. This is Walmart's finest. It was only $1.87. And I'm like, hey, I get to celebrate achieving a goal. This was good. So I brought up leaving. How much was this thing? Oh no, this turtle bar was $2.87. Okay. So I'm like, I won't be leaving on November 15th like I thought I was. Because of two reasons. Number one, I will not have the money. And number two, I have to give the owner of the truck a 1 month notice before I depart. Also, the plan was for me to move out by November 1st because of the room that's being held for me in Atlanta. So what I've decided to do was I've decided to give my friend a call tomorrow and let him know that the earliest I can make it to Atlanta will be in January. And the reason why is because the pressure for me to perform financially, once I get to Atlanta for it, I need to have an adequate amount of money in my pocket, and I don't have any money in my pocket. For me to move away from this now and go out there, and it's like, no, that's gonna put too much stress on me. It's gonna put too much. It's gonna impact my interaction with my friend and an appointment to a number of people, and I just don't want to go through that again. I feel it's better off for me to disappoint and not, take on a financial responsibility I'm not ready to handle than to go out there and then upset somebody because I can't pay the rent. I'm just not doing it anymore. I'm tired of being that guy. So I'm like, no. Right now, this might seem like a bad situation, but this is working right now. So I'm gonna stay put, and I'm gonna do this the way I need to do it. You asked the question if I were going to work on tractor trailers. I have given it a lot of thought, and I've decided to do it. But here's the problem: my blood pressure is too high. I've tried for the last 2.5 months, basically ever since Coachella, when I found out that I definitely had high blood pressure, to get my blood pressure down. And at one point I did get it down to 140/90, but it didn't stay there. Right now it's still in the 170 to 110, 170/110 range. And I need to make comprehensive steps to get my blood pressure where it needs to be. And it's not going to happen in a few weeks. So for now. And then the other thing about being a, long haul tractor trailer driver is, and I've given a lot of thought about it, it will require me to be on some sort of a work schedule. Require me to be accountable, and the over the driving, over the road stuff. I don't right now I don't want to do it. I thought about it came to me when I was thinking about going back to Metro. And I went to a union meeting, and I got excited about the prospect of going back to work and whatnot. But I remembered something that kept me away for the last 3 years, and why I knew I needed time to recover from that. And it was because I was hurt. I was hurt very deeply, and I was hurt twice by that. Hey Luis, how you doing, man? Good to see you. I was hurt twice when I lost my job, and I realized that the reason why I kept putting it off so much, the reason why I was wishy-washy on it, the reason why I was doing so bad with committing to going back to Metro was because I simply did not want to entertain the risk of being hurt again. I didn't want to put myself in a position where I would pour my all into the job only to have it taken away a third time. It's not a matter of embarrassment or shame, or worried about what people are going to say, because quite frankly, YouTube has done a very good job of helping me realize that if people have something negative to say about it, I really don't care. When it comes down to it, I don't. It doesn't bother me. But what I don't want is I don't want to go through the pain that I went through of being disciplined and losing my job and being terminated. It's the kind of worker that I am and the work ethic that I have. It's one thing to look at what I've done in Rideshare and say, okay, this didn't work, and I can walk away on my own terms. But see, with Rideshare, this didn't work out. This is really good. Rideshare didn't work out. So I'm leaving on my terms. But Metro, they took that away from me. They took it away from me, and that's what made it hurt. So, and every time I think about going back, I don't feel good about it. Now, before, I hated the thought of going back to it. Now, it's like, oh, if I go back, it's just a means to an end. But I still don't feel good about it. So, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. The truck driving thing, that's a matter of being more infatuated with it than actually wanting to truly go through and do what's necessary to make that happen. Plus, there's something else about the trucking that doesn't appeal to me anymore, and that is, I'm not interested in driving for pay anymore. There are a couple of instances where I would be interested in it. There was a gentleman who was watching my live stream last night, and he sent me an email today talking about a job opportunity where they need people to drive. And he's saying all you need is to have a valid driver's license. You pass the drug test, and you need to pass background. I'm good to go on those fronts. My license is valid. I have a valid driver's license, clean record for 10 years plus. I can pass any biological test you want to throw my way right now, and there's nothing in my criminal background, so I can get a job. Just to see what his what the job offer will be, and then we'll go from there. Another thing, I really want that envoy. I need to accomplish something beyond paying for gas and paying for a rented car with Rideshare. I can't get an apartment. So I'm like, you know what? The best I can do is hope that things work out and I can save up $2,000, $2,200. That's how much total I need. $1,900 to buy the truck, and another $100 to take care of the insurance, and $200 to pay the taxes. Well, and then I can turn this truck in. I'm anticipating that I will hold on to this truck until January 1st. I just have to go on ahead and just suck it up and make it happen. So when I go see him tomorrow to get this battery installed, I'm going to tell him that I want to turn in the truck on January 1st. And leave it. As far as making the move to Atlanta, right now, I probably won't make the move to Atlanta. I mean, the fact of the matter is this: California is my home. Los Angeles is my home. I'm not afraid to move. I've never had a problem being afraid to move. But the thing is, I honestly feel that my best opportunity is to just simply remain here in California for now. I don't have enough money to go to Atlanta. I don't have enough money to do it, so I need to stay here and go from there. But as far as Rideshare is concerned, I'm absolutely leaving Rideshare. I just can't do it on November 15th. So let me see. Okay, so I got questions now. This is good. Let's see. Okay. But you went, okay, so I answered that one. 287 turtle bar. Yeah. These turtle bars are normally $3.89 everywhere else. I got a good deal for it at Walmart, but I need to stop eating these things. I really do. But it is good. So I'll know in January if I'm going to be in Atlanta or not. But here's the deal. I don't think my friend is going to hold the room for me that long, because I told him the plan was originally for me to be out there today. He's having a special meeting tomorrow at his home, and I told him that I can make it out there by January 15th. I mean, just November 15th. And now I'm pushed to January. He needs a tenant for his room. He needs to make the revenue for it. And if I'm not there to pay the rent, he's going to find somebody else who can be there. So If I don't have a place to move to in Atlanta, I'm not going to Atlanta. I'm gonna stay right here in LA. So, oh, regarding LA exit, I will only do drop-offs at LAX. I will not do pickups at LAX. I will go to the two hubs. I will go to Uber and to Lyft, and I will tell them to block me from airport pickups because I never want to do LA exit again. It's that bad. I was in that traffic for an hour, and the app, not the customer, but the app, canceled me from picking the person up, and I was literally right there at the entrance to the lot. If the companies refuse to take me off of LAX pickups, all I'm going to do when I get an airport ride, I'll accept the ride, and halfway when I go there, I'm just going to hit stop airport request. I don't mind dropping off people at the airport. The drop off is a breeze. That's real easy. It's the pickup that's the problem. Someone needs a ride to the airport. The drop-offs have always been great. But when you get a rematch, because that's what happened to me, I received a rematch. I had someone to come to LAX. Wow, and then I received a rematch. And before I posted that, the video of LA exit, I was in traffic for 45 minutes before I posted that. So, no, I'm not going through that again. It depends on what time you did that pickup, because if you did it at night, like right now, it's bad. Plus, all the people that were coming into LA, they're either here for a long weekend. 8 a.m. is a piece of cake, man. That's nothing. 8 a.m. you're in and out. But at a time like this, it's hard. The reason why I'm doing this thing the way I am is because I do not want this chocolate to fall on my clothes. It's a little soft right now, so I eat it a certain way. Hey, Rick Reviews, what's up? How you doing, man? Jinjoy is here too. Jinjoy is a faithful watcher. I appreciate you, Jinjoy. Yeah, Jinjoy, it definitely needs a laxative. You know, Lyft won't do it. 600 days, $600 days driving here in Atlanta, so no problem. I don't plan on doing rideshare once I leave rideshare. I'm as far as I'm concerned, I'm on my last breaths of rideshare. I really am. I really do wish I could leave today. I would love to leave today. If it weren't for the fact that I had to give the owner a 30-day notice on this truck, I actually would have left a week after I was given um, the um, the offer to take the room in Atlanta. But the way things have been going with me lately, this vehicle and other stuff getting in the way or so like that, I can't do it. Looks like somebody lost their vehicle. People park in these parking lots and forget where they park their cars. Oh no, this is a big bar. I'm almost done with it. Thanks for telling me that, David. I appreciate it. Let's see. Let me go back a little bit more. So I answered that. Brother-in-law, what is the status with the trip? Any word on when they... Oh, well, you know, the going line with trip is, you know, it'll be ready in 2 weeks. That's what's always said. We're going to do it in 2 weeks. There are a few things that are going on with trip. They want to open a new market, just New York City. They are working with an existing company, an existing taxi cab company already approved in the New York market. For confidentiality reasons, they did not state the name of the company. The Rider app, wait 1 second, that was really soft. The Rider app apparently is already complete, and it's just a matter of replacing it, doing a new download. The driver app, they're in the finishing touches of dealing with the driver app. Once that happens, then everything will be taken out of beta and it will go active, it will go live. They want to open 40 new markets, including California, in 2020. They didn't give a firm deadline on that, but their goal is to open 40 new markets next year. But the first markets that will open will be Miami, Orlando, and New York. And I agree with you, wanting and doing is two completely different things. I told myself I wouldn't report anything on trip until I was actually able to drive the car myself, but I'm not able to do that. But people have questions and I have a few answers, so I'm like, look, I'll be as patient with the company as possible. I am an optimist, and they are doing, you know, they're doing their thing. I'm supposed to be meeting, hopefully, with a representative of the company, with Eric, sometime next week. So I'll be meeting with him, and I'll probably have a lot more to talk about after I meet with him. So we'll see. But the company is making progress. It's just going slower than anticipated, and part of the reason why is because investment capital. They need more investment capital. The company took a hit because they were committed to um, the MLM compensation structure. When they let go of MLM and they decided to go fully affiliate marketing instead, a lot of things changed. For example, the payment processor is now Stripe. Tied to the payment processor being Stripe, more than likely drivers will be issued their own Trip branded Visa debit cards. Um, but here's the deal. What Trip has is they still have a group of drivers and a group of riders who are still passionate about the company. And what will change the tide for the company is when they are able to really truly start performing the way they say they will. Yeah, New York has always been a competitive town. That's just how it is. They say if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. And I believe that's a fact. See, you could be someone who makes it in LA and be a total failure in New York. But you have someone who made it in New York, oh, they'll make it in LA. There's no question about it. They won't fail because New York is a much more tougher market. It's very unforgiving. Yes, Rideshare Helper. Good evening to you, sir. How are you? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I came on to just do a brief a brief one today. Yeah, I've never been to New York. New York is a town that um, I've always been afraid to visit. When you look at the various TV shows and how the city is portrayed and whatnot. I mean, New York does not look like a very friendly town at all to me. But I will say this: um, I've I've met a lot of New Yorkers, and I like New Yorkers. I think New Yorkers are cool when it comes down to it. New Yorkers keep it real. You don't get any fakeness from a person from New York. If you don't like it, well, tough. Get in line. There's 8.5 million other people to deal with. Um, I I'm like, you know, I think the thing about New York is really just the fact that I probably wouldn't have a good time there because I would not have enough money to enjoy the town the way I would really like to enjoy the town. Um, so, you know, I mean, I take it for granted living in LA because I live out here and all the stuff that everyone go ooh and ah about. I'm like, yeah, I've been there, seen that, done that, got the soundtrack, got all 15 of them. I mean, it's like, okay, fine. I run by this thing 15 times a day, and people are all going on and fawning about it. Like, for example, the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I'm like, what's the big deal? you know um the Chinese theater and seeing the handprints. Okay, cool. What else? The Hollywood sign. I can't stand going to the Hollywood sign and picking up the people there. I'm like, okay, I've been only looking at it for the last 40 some odd years. Um, what else? Griffith Observatory. I've never been to Griffith Observatory. Um, the slide that they have on the side of the building where you slide that little fake slide and you're hanging off the side of the building. People love going there. And I'm like, okay, slide away. It's like, all this tourist stuff that people talk about. Even Staples Center. I've only been to Staples Center one time. I've only been in the Forum one time. Um, what else? I've been to Dodger Stadium one time, and that was I was a kid, and the only thing I remember about it was being stuck on the freeway and my dad spanking me because I was crying about it. Um, I I only went to the Rose Bowl once, and I wasn't thrilled about it. it was a college football game. I forgot, it was USC and somebody else, and I got free tickets to go in, and it's like, okay, and um, what else? Where else have I been? I've never been to a Tournament of Roses parade. Um, A Deals Doc, what's going on? So all the touristy stuff. I'm like, okay, I get it, understand. I know where to take all the people to do all the touristy stuff. But I guess because I live here, I take it for granted because I could see the stuff whenever. And I think maybe I took New York for granted as well too. So yes, I worked last night here in LA. These days, I really don't. I just don't make a lot of money anymore. Excuse me. Last night, I made maybe $125 last night. All of it went for gas. So, and then today I made. I think I made $200 today. I know that for a fact because I needed $150 for the new battery. That's why I made this video, to talk about me getting a new battery. And I'm like, okay. So other than that, I'm not trying to push $2,000 a week anymore. I'm not even trying to push $800 a week, quite frankly. The only thing I'm interested in doing at this point is right now is just making enough money to pay for this truck, enough money to put gas in the truck, enough money to pay the partner what I owe him, enough money to buy the Envoy. But my days of being ambitious on Rideshare, no, it's not. I wasted my time on Rideshare. I'll be very frank with you. I did. And if anyone comes to me and they say, hey, what should we do? I'm not the person to ask for advice with that. I told the owner 3 weeks ago that I needed a new battery for this truck. And I did not get a new battery for this truck. The fact of the matter is, I cannot be stranded in this vehicle. I have used up all of my you get 5 roadside calls a year with AAA. After that, they cost $90. And I'm like, you know what? The next $90 I spend, I might as well go on ahead and put a brand new battery in this truck. So I worked all day today to generate the money necessary to buy a new battery, because I need this truck to work. I need this truck to make money. So I couldn't get it from the partner. I mean, what is he gonna do? I'm gonna go to the partner tomorrow and say, hey, the oil change is now at 15%. The truck has 112,000 miles on it, and I have a new battery for the truck, and I need it installed, because he has his own mechanic who can put it in. So is he going to get mad that I put a new battery in the? I mean, if that's the case, he can put his own battery in the truck, then I just bring the battery back to Walmart and get my money back. Otherwise, oh man, you didn't have to. I said, yes, I did have to get a new battery for the truck. I need it installed so I can keep on working, so I can pay your money and keep on going. This is a business transaction, and I made a business decision. That's how I see it. I'm not mad about it. I'm not upset about it. I'm doing what's necessary. But Torsten's not my partner with this truck. It's somebody else. Torsten connected me with the person who actually owns the truck so I can have it. Torsten has nothing to do with this. And so I'm not going to get Torsten involved with this, because I don't have to get Torsten involved with this. I thank Torsten for helping me get this truck. But at the end of the day, you know, there were a series of things that went wrong with this whole thing when it comes down to it. First and foremost was the dramatic increase in fuel costs. When I had the BMW, premium gas was $2.39 a gallon. That's what it was. This truck, when I put regular fuel in it, when the prices started going to $4 and $4.50 and $4.20 like they are, I had no problem putting 87 in this truck, and it ran just fine with 87. Now all of a sudden, the engine is knocking like crazy from wherever I get 87 from, and I think the gas stations are diluting this gas because they want to pull more money out of the people. And so now I have to put premium in this truck. I'm pushing $4.50, $4.99 a gallon on this truck. So my fuel costs have gone up dramatically. Meanwhile, Uber introduced Uber Comfort. Uber Comfort got rid of all of the Uber Select rides that were available. Uber Select is a pipe dream now. So now I'm like, everyone who I get in the vehicle now, they're all XLs, because I know from past experience, when I first started Uber Black and Uber Select and Uber Lux and all like that, the reason why I was so gung-ho on Select was because when I first got into Uber Black, it was normal for me to make $500 a day doing Uber Select only. I mean, the rides, the doing $500 a day was easy to do. My assignment, I had a car that I shared with somebody else. It was a 2010 Mercedes S400 hybrid, and my job was to drive the car from 4 a.m. until 4 p.m. But the problem was, I would get the car at 4 o'clock in the morning and it had water spots all over it. And so, because I was so new and so green and didn't know anything, I waited until 8 o'clock in the morning to take the car to the shop and get the car washed so that it was spotless when I started picking up people in Beverly Hills. So I lost 4 hours of work just because I had to wait for the car wash to open. And then I would drive the car from about 9 o'clock until 1 in the afternoon, because at 1 o'clock the traffic was so heavy that I had to take that into account when it was time for me to drive from wherever I was to get it back down to the storage location in Beverly Hills, and to make sure the car was immaculate for the guy that drove it from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. So in effect, I only had the car from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. making money. And I made $500 a day, every single day, just on Uber Select, Uber Black, Uber Select and Uber Black rides, because Uber Lux wasn't available then. I didn't like that arrangement because I met another driver who had a BMW, and he was like, I keep the car for 24/7. And with this car, he was paying $650 a week for his car. I was paying $500 a week for my car, and I had it only 12 hours a day. I had to turn the car in every day. So I'm like, oh, this is cool. So I let go of the first Mercedes I had. I broke the contract early, and I went with the second BMW. But the catch with him was, he only allowed me to drive the car on Uber Black and Uber Lux. Uber Lux, between the time I got the Mercedes and the time I got the first BMW, Uber Lux came into being. And when I got that car, it was very, very difficult to crack $900 a week with that car. Now, mind you, I'm doing $500 a day with the old car. Now I'm down to $900 a week with the new car. And so I'm like, okay, Uber Select is the way to go. So I let go of that car when it started developing transmission problems. I told the guy, look, the car is shifting, it's shaking real bad, it's slipping like there's no problem at all. Car like 70,000 miles on it, and the transmission was slipping bad, and he would not fix it. I'm saying, dude, It's really embarrassing, and customers are concerned about their safety in this vehicle because it's shaking so bad when it was time to go. And I was not willing to get stuck with a BO transmission, so I gave him back his car. And then I got the Suburban. It was a 2012 Suburban. That one was Brutus. I named that car was Brutus. And I love the Suburban. That Suburban was cool. It was great, and it was still relatively new, because it was still 2016 when I had the truck. But then his insurance certificate expired around Halloween, and I'm like, I can't operate like this. We got to get this fit. It took him 3 weeks to get a new insurance policy, and when he finally called me and he said, "Hey, I got the insurance certificate done. Are you ready to get back working on Uber?" When he sent that text message to me, I was sitting in the driver's seat of the BMW, ready to take it home for the first time. I called him the next day. I told him that I ended up getting another job and I need to bring the vehicle back to him. He said, "Okay, great." I went, got his Suburban back to him, and then I walked around the corner, got the BMW, and drove off. But those days, that person who thought that rideshare could do no wrong, that rideshare was the answer to clean air and clean water and a nice happy life, and the guy who defended rideshare to the bitter end and said, "Oh, if you just drive more, if you just get a more expensive car, if you just do this and that or so like that," that guy is 12 feet under. No, this is a means to an end at this point. I cannot wait to be done with this. I'll promote Trip when they come out, because I like their referral program, and I like the fact that when you refer someone to Trip and you take a ride with them, you get 40 cents. But that's going to happen when they're actually able to do that. Until then, I'm like, look, I'll be doing Postmates. That's my thing. I'll keep doing Postmates. I'll put up with getting an average of $6 a trip, and I'll make about $150 a day doing Postmates. I'll roll around in a used car, old car, and I'll deliver people their food and everything, and I'll be good. So yeah, I have my plan on how I want to work it out, but it depends. If this gig that Mr. Freddie is telling me about works out, then I probably won't have to even worry about that. So we'll see in the next coming weeks and how that goes down. But no, rideshare has been a mixed bag for me. I've had my good moments. I've had my bad moments. As far as the optimal car for delivery, I personally believe that an electric car is the best car for delivery. I drove that Chevy Bolt, and I tell you, that car was just so much fun to drive. It really was. It was easy to park, fast to park. It had instant responsiveness. It was quiet, great suspension. It was cool. So now if you go and you get a Nissan Leaf, you can get a Nissan Leaf. The only issue with the Nissan Leaf, though, is you have to get an SL if you want the ones that charge fast, for the older ones. And the other problem with the Nissan Leaf is that the batteries are on the small side, so you don't get a lot of range, with the battery as far as the driving is concerned. You could get a Bolt, and a Bolt, I've seen used Bolts for about $18,000. So so yeah, you want to get the SLs, because see, here's the deal. They come in 3 models. You have the base S, you have the SV, and then you have the SL. The SL is the luxury package, but the SLs, if you get the right one, it comes with a high speed charger, and you do that and the battery is recharged in a relatively short period of time. When I first drove the Leaf, I had the ones that had the regular chargers, and I'm gonna tell you, those chargers, man, it took like 2 hours to charge that car up. Hey, Mr. Schneider, how you doing? Good to see you. So I was like, nah, I don't want to deal with the Leaf because it had the slow charger. But eventually, Nissan put the faster chargers in the car, and I think the fast charger is still optional. The fast chargers on the bolts, those are optional as well too, but the vast majority of the dealers, they put it in as standard because they know having the fast charger will impact the resale value of the car. I would never ever buy an electric car without fast charging today. It just doesn't make sense. In fact, car manufacturers should always put in the fast charger because that's what's going to impact a lot of sales. I think when these next generation cars come out, fast charging will be a standard feature on them. Just like Tesla puts supercharging on their cars. Oh, speaking of which, I went and test drove a Tesla Model 3. It was my third time test driving the Tesla Model 3. But what I did something special. I went and put a USB stick in the Tesla Model 3, and I recorded my test drive so I could see how the Tesla cam works. On all the Tesla Model 3s, they have this update in software version 9 where you can use the front-facing cam and the side cam mirrors as a dash cam. Now, it doesn't record audio. It doesn't record audio, and it does not record the interior of the car, but it records the front of the car. It records what's happening on the side of the vehicle, rear vision, and it records both sides, the left side and the right side. You get 3 different files, and each file is 58 seconds a piece, and it chops it up 58 seconds. So you have all these files that's marked with the time and all like that. So here's what you do. You get a USB stick. Make it like 32 gigabytes in size. The one I have, I believe the one I have is 128 gigs in size. I got gigantic USB sticks. So and what you do is you make sure the stick is formatted in the FAT32 file format, FAT32. And then what you do is you put a folder on the main directory of the folder of the drive, and you name it Tesla Cam, capital T, and then capital C with the cam, all one word, Tesla Cam, capital T, capital C. When you put the stick in the car, and you basically, the car is almost always on. When you open the car up, it's on. So you get in the car, you sit in, you put the USB stick in the drive, and then what happens is you'll see a little camera on the dashboard screen, and there's going to be a red circle, and the red circle means it's recording, and it records the front, the left rear, and the right rear of the car. And it's really cool when you watch the videos recording. I'm going to upload the test drive. What I have to do is I need to get the videos, and I need to stitch them together, so you'll see how it works, and I have to make a comprehensive video behind the whole thing. It's really cool. I love it, and I think that Tesla needs to work on it a little bit more, but for the most part, it's great. Um, One thing about the camera quality, the image quality, the colors are washed out, so it almost looks like it's black and white. The colors are not vivid, but it's not totally black and white. Um, the side cameras gave the best picture quality. The front camera gave a bit to be desired. And because of the light coming from the sun, it was just oversaturated. And then again, you have to figure this. Tesla is putting out 5,000-6,000 of these cars a week. Um, they were probably looking for a way to save money, and they figure like this. We don't need to put the best cameras in the front because it's just identifying vehicles. They did not anticipate using the car those cameras as dash cams, but now that they are, they'll probably make a change to the vendor of the camera, and they'll come up with higher resolution cameras with color and widescreen and greater, be able to see the quality of the license plates a little better and whatnot, because we all know the camera technology is very nice today. But yeah, and I also went to test to see if the sound system, if you could use your memory stick, USB stick, to play music directly from your memory stick, and you can't. You have to, if you want to play your own music from your own device, be it your cell phone or your iPod or your even your iPad or whatnot, or your phone for that matter, your iPhone, you have to use Bluetooth. You have to use Bluetooth. They have apps built into the car. Like for example, you can watch Netflix directly from your car. You can watch Hulu directly from the car. You can you have your Slacker account, which is now LiveX Live or Live Times Live, and they have a couple of other accounts, and I've signed up for all of them because I'm fully Tesla now. I got my Tesla app. I got my Tesla folder set up. I got everything ready for Tesla. I just need the car. So I'm like, okay, we'll see how it goes. And I also found an extended warranty for the Tesla Model 3 and the S and the X. One of the things I discovered when you're dealing with the warranty on the Tesla, especially the Model 3, Tesla does not offer an extended warranty for the Model 3. They do offer you a service contract for the premium ones, the S and the X, but not for the Model 3. After the 4-year, 50,000-mile bumper-to-bumper portion is up with the Tesla Model 3, you're on your own. Other than the drivetrain warranty, they give you an 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty with the standard range battery, and they give you an 8-year, 120,000-mile warranty with the long range battery. But those two warranties are required by federal law, or if not by federal law, at least by California law. I know in California, they have to warrant the emissions equipment in these cars for 120,000 miles. So after that, you're done for. But what happens if the battery goes out after the warranty period? Okay, you're looking at a pretty pricey part to replace. Tesla's not exactly known for having bulletproof motors either. People have reported motors going out at 60,000 miles and all like that. No one has reported any issues with GM's product though. They've got bolts that are doing 110, 115,000 miles and never had to replace a drive unit, never had to replace a battery. Batteries were replaced. Early batteries were replaced because there were issues with them when they very first came out. Today, you just don't hear about that. So, battery cars are still fairly new, but hey, you know what? They give awesome performance. They're quiet. They're completely smooth. There's no weird jerkiness. You don't have a lot of noise from. In fact, you have no noise from the drivetrain. So the interior is quiet as a luxury sedan. They're comfortable, and they have great room because you don't have, because a lot of the space that was taken up by the mechanical requirements a um, of a combustion engine, like a gas tank, a fuel tank, the exhaust system, changes to the suspension, the engine itself, trunk space. Well, those problems are no longer an issue because now you just have the drive unit and the um, the battery. You don't have to worry about fumes. You don't have to worry about gas leaking. You don't have to worry about oil changes. Coolant, you only have to change it every 150,000 miles, and because the coolant is not exposed to petroleum or to gasoline mixing in it like it does with a combustion car, internal combustion engine, the coolant actually does last 150,000 miles. It does its job. It doesn't have to be cleaned. It just has to be replaced because it no longer has the thermal efficiency to do its job. So, oh, and the coolest thing about air conditioning is you could be sitting like this with the air conditioning running because it's battery powered, and you could it's great now because if I keep this light on like this with this bad battery I have in it right now, this battery will be dead, and I'll need a jump start. And so whenever I make these videos like this, I need to keep the engine to global warming, which means I'm being a naughty person. Oh man, okay, let's see what we got here. The F-150 EV will be very fascinating. We'll see what happens when and if they actually do come out with it. More than likely they will. That will be fascinating. Let me see, the Model 3, that would be fun to try. Yeah, if you want to go and test drive a Model 3, just go down to your Tesla store and tell them you want to test drive the Model 3. They give test drives all the time. I have no problem asking for a test drive. I go and I say, oh, I want to try this and see this. How can I take it for a test drive? Oh, sure, no problem. Yeah, I just wanted to explore this and see what it was like or so like that. And you take it out of the parking lot. You go northbound on Century Park West until you get to Santa Monica Boulevard. You make a right turn. You head eastbound on Santa Monica Boulevard till you get to Avenue of the Stars. You make another right turn. You go south on Avenue of the Stars until you get to Olympic Boulevard. Till you get to Pico Boulevard. So you cross Olympic, go all the way down to Pico. Make the right turn. You're going westbound on Pico. You're going to pass 20th Century Fox Studios. You're going to get to Beverly Glen. You make another right. You're going to go northbound on Beverly Glen, go through a few curves and turns, and then you go you make another right turn. You go up Beverly Glen. You go up you go from Beverly Glen to Santa Monica Boulevard, Santa Monica, until you get to Century Park West again. You make the right turn, go south on Century Park West, turn into the parking lot, back up. But I'll tell you this, if you want a real test drive, go to the store in Santa Barbara. They will give you the best test drive. They let you drive that car. Oh my God. You get the vehicle. That's like, you get to give it fast acceleration. You have a real test drive in Santa Barbara. If you want to test drive the Tesla, take the Santa Barbara. Go. It's worth the trip to if you want a real test drive. Because you'll never get the car up to speed on the highway down here in LA. We're too far away from freeways and everything like that. But Santa Barbara, they're super friendly, and it's worth it. Santa Barbara's such a beautiful town anyway. Go Donnie.com. Let's see. How's your day going? Can't wait to wear my birthday suit tomorrow for all you guys. It's my birthday. How are you doing, Mr. Peterson? I'm doing okay, Donnie Khan. I'm doing all right. Now, okay, cool. You're wearing your birthday suit. Congratulations on wearing your birthday suit on your birthday. That's cool. All right. I got it, man. Um, they don't have a money back guarantee. Who doesn't have a money back guarantee? I'm trying to figure out who doesn't have a money back guarantee. Because I was just talking about Tesla. Tesla, they say that if you don't like the car, you can return it in 7 days for a full refund. And they do have used car inventory where people don't like the cars. So you can buy a used Tesla Model 3 that's currently in inventory and get a little bit of a discount on it. The catch with buying the used car from Tesla is if you buy the used car, you don't get. That's why it's like, I think people who buy the Tesla Model 3 who know what they're buying, and they'll buy a used car because it only has like 400 miles on it. So because I think they say you have to keep it so many miles, and that's it. Most of them are black right now because when Tesla redid their buying thing, black was the standard color, and then you had to spend money for all the other ones. And then they recently changed it. Now the standard color is pearl white, and you have to pay money for all the other colors, which I think it's crazy. But hey, why is it that I can get really nice colors on a Honda Accord, but I can't on a Tesla? There's a problem with that. But they charge you anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500 extra for the paint. I mean, come on. But they're not offering silver, so I guess the white one will just simply have to do. That's how it is. Yeah, you can return it in 7 days, but that's only if you buy a new one. Like, for example, the guy was trying to get me to order a brand new Tesla Model 3. He says, "Oh, it's only $100 to order the car." I'm like, "Well, yeah. I mean, I can order the car for $100 right now. 100 isn't the problem. The problem is when it's time to pay that $40,000 for the car to come when you have 6 to 9 weeks to get the car." I'm like, no, I'd rather just go to Santa Barbara and get the car, drive it right there on the spot. We're done with this thing in 45 minutes, and that's how I'll probably end up doing it. You get the car that's used. I say, look, just give me a dual motor with the 19-inch wheels, and I'm cool. That's all. I mean, that's what it's gonna be anyway. Hey, Andrew Yang, what's going on, man? Let's see. I saw that red one. Yeah, the red is nice. I mean, $2,500, it better be nice because that's a premium color on that car. So, let me see. I think I said that already. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. There you go, man. You got it. Okay. Ooh, goodness gracious. Let's see. Happy birthday to you, Donnie. Happy birthday, man. Okay, let's see. How's they coming in wearing birthday suits? Okay. What do you think about the Tesla truck rumors? I've seen the pictures of the Tesla truck, and they right now I'm not feeling that truck at all. The look of it is not turning me on. Now, I do like the Tesla Semi. I think that's cool, but the Tesla truck, I'm not feeling it. But we'll see. You never know. I mean, Tesla is a different kind of car company when it comes down to it. But I haven't really caught up with the rumors regarding performance, when it's going to be available and stuff like that. I haven't been paying attention to any of that. Sorry, I'm scratching my calf. I think I have psoriasis because my mom has psoriasis and my niece has it, and I've read the psoriasis is hereditary, and it's wintertime, and this is when my skin gets really itchy. It's like, if I ever want to know it's wintertime, all I got to do is just look at the calendar and say, okay, how bad am I scratching? And that's where I am right now. It's driving me crazy. I used to be that way. I used to be that way. Not anymore, buddy. Okay, let me see. When are you getting the Tesla like you always getting a Tesla? I said I am getting a Tesla Model 3 and YouTube is going to pay for it, which means I need to generate a proper channel that will generate the money necessary to make the money. And these things don't happen overnight. They don't happen every day. It might take a couple of years before I get the car. But I made the statement because I am serious about it. So, that's, one of the things I've been thinking about doing with this new channel, this new car channel I was talking about doing, was, there are a lot of opportunities to talk about all kinds of cars. But I was thinking about making the channel specifically about battery electric vehicles, BEVs. Say, look, I know a lot about cars. I could talk about a Camry and this and that or so. But if I make the channel specific to electric vehicles, I think I'll actually be a bit more successful with it because the conversation will be focused instead of talking about every car under the sun. Because there's a specific group of people that have no problem listening and talking about EVs, and let's do better with that. Because listen, I consider myself an environmentalist. I care about the environment. I try to recycle, and I try to watch what I do. And it's ironic coming from someone who's driving an SUV. But the fact of the matter is, I would like to get away from gasoline and burning fossil fuel to move around and get into having a battery powered vehicle. And there are quite a few electric powered vehicles out there now. So I mean, so I figured that's what I want to do. But yeah, I mean, because right now, unless I win the lottery or so like that, being successful on YouTube is the only way I'm going to get the Tesla. I'm keeping it because I'm not going to make payments on the car. If I can't pay cash for it, I'm not going to have it. And the only way that's going to happen, I got to do really well on YouTube. So that's where I am right now. Let me see. The Nomad, he says, I like you, Mr. Peterson. I'm leaving Rideshare very soon. It didn't meet my expectations. Well below minimum wage in my market. Yeah, Nomad, that's basically what I came to the conclusion of. A lot of people disagree with my definition of success and my definition of failure, but the bottom line is this: success is accomplishing your goals. Failure is not accomplishing your goals. When I first started Rideshare, I was in a desperate situation, but basically I've been playing catch up ever since. And I've tried everything I could to make Rideshare work, and it really hasn't worked. I worked those before the 10-hour rules were instituted, because those are federal laws. I worked 17 hours a day on Rideshare. I worked very hard on Rideshare. I drove everywhere. I took any ride that came my way. I did what it took. And I never consistently made $200 a day on Rideshare. I never did. So when I came across Gio's channel and he was showing how he was always making $2,000 a week as a UberX driver, I'm like, how in the world is he doing it? Because I'm not able to do it. I was able to consistently hit 150. 150 was after all day, and there would be some days where I could hit 175, but hitting $200 a day, that was something that just wasn't going to happen. Now, yes, I have had some pretty big days as an UberX driver. Those were anomalies more than the regular. So let's see. LOL. Journey with Jordan, LL, there's someone in the bum lot with a trip magnet on their car that says we need drivers. More like we need riders and an app. Um, and Albert says, I work in LA, would work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and make $900 a week, so I don't see how you don't do it. Um, Albert, with minimal work, I do $1,000 a week in this truck. And the reason why I know I do $1,000 a week in this truck is because I need $500 a week for gas, and I need $500 a week to keep the truck. Okay, so I am doing $1,000 a week with this truck. That is absolutely no deal. But that's what minimal work. I am not motivated to do hard work with rideshare anymore. I'm doing what's necessary and required. The battery that I just bought today, that was extra work. Okay, I busted my tail to make an extra $150 to buy the battery because I need this battery so I can continue doing what I need to do. Now, I'm taking it easy for the rest of the night. I ain't working tonight because I don't want to. Okay, but tomorrow I'm going to the owner, and he's going to put this battery into the vehicle because I need this battery. And then Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to produce the money necessary to make sure he gets paid on Monday. And now that I have a battery in the vehicle, okay, I have a little bit of motivation to continue going or so. But as far as saying what I can and can't do, I know exactly what I could do with this truck. I know precisely that's what I have it. I qualify for everything in this truck. I qualify for Lyft, Lyft shared, Lyft pool, whatever you want to call the basic stuff. XL, Lux, Black XL. I qualify for everything on Lyft, and I qualify for everything on Uber except for Lux. I know what I can get from this vehicle. I'm just not motivated to do it anymore. I'm doing the bare minimum, and that's it. Why? Because what's going to end up happening is this. It's not going to change my situation not one bit. It's not going to it's not going to change my situation at all. I have to completely break away from rideshare in order to accomplish what I really want to accomplish somewhere else, because when I move away from rideshare, that's money I won't be putting into a vehicle anymore. That's $2,000 a month right there I'll be able to save on my own. Then for the gas, that's another $2,400 a month I won't have to spend on gasoline. So I'm like, when I came to that realization that before I even profit for myself, I'm generating $4,400 a month before I see a dime from me. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's a waste of my time, and I need to get out of it as quickly as possible. If I had the kind of contract that would have allowed me to just walk away at a moment's notice, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. I would have already left rideshare. But I'm stuck in a contract, so I have to plan my way out of it because I have that 1 month buffer I need to deal with. Otherwise, I would have walked away from this. So this is a means to an end at this point. I'm not a fan of rideshare anymore. I'm really not. Doing Postmates offers me the flexibility I need until I can transition to another job. And here's the deal. I will be doing Postmates on a part-time basis because I'm gonna have a job. I'll be doing the job, and then when I'm off the job, I'll make another $50 to $60 on Postmates. And then, I'm good to go. And eventually I'll stop doing Postmates altogether, and I'll be on my regular job because I'll need that flexibility of having that extra money in my pocket as I move away from this. One of the things I like about doing this whole gig thing, I woke up today and I had no money. I had nothing. But by the end of today, I had $200. $200 put gas in this truck. $200 got me a couple of meals, and $150 got me the battery that I needed. Before this weekend is over with, I would have made $700. by Monday, once I get the battery in the car, because right now I'm not working because I'm on my last starts with this truck. I cannot afford to be stranded. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to hedge my bets. I'm just going to hedge my bets, and I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to take it easy, drive it to the shop. Tomorrow morning, they're going to come in, put the battery in, and then now that I know that my issue of starting the vehicle is now gone, I say, hey, I can do what I need to do now, and I'm good. I'm good. So I'm taking it easy. I'm enjoying the night tonight. I wish I made enough money. I would have, you know, look, I sacrificed going to the Terminator for this because I planned this day to go to Terminator. I wanted to see Terminator on opening day, and I don't have any money to see the Terminator, so I have to wait until Monday or Tuesday to see Terminator. Now I wanted to see it now with everybody else. But hey, you can't have everything you want. I had to make a choice, and I said my choice is I need a battery because I need to work. I'm like, I don't want to take the chance of this vehicle stopping on me when I might need it most. And so I said, no, I'll just take it easy. And the next time I start this truck will be when it's time to move it into the guy's lot. So I'll be there tomorrow to have him do it. So I said, you know what? I'll spend my day tonight doing a live stream because people like my live streams. Why not? Let me see. $300. Yeah, if you were into the bicycling thing or so like that, and you can make it happen with Postmates, I'm not gonna do Postmates. And why do I need to go to San Francisco? San Francisco. I live in LA. LA is the second largest city in the country. I don't need to go to San Francisco to make money. I can make money right down here in LA. It's cool. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not a bicycle person like that. These people are too crazy out here for driving. I'm not willing to do it. I'm not that bold. Some people are, but I'm not that guy. I'm too fat to be doing that. You know, Jermaine is thin and nimble. He can move around like that. I can't. I'm think of him like an Airbus A319. Maneuverable. No, Jermaine is a private jet. He's a G6. Okay, that's what he is. He's a Gulfstream 6. Me, I'm a 747. I need space. I need time. Okay, that's the thing. So I'm like, hey, all right. Yeah, like I said, small car like a Sentra. If I get a small car, I'm getting a Honda Civic. But I like the battery cars. I'll probably get a Nissan Leaf. You can get a cheap Nissan Leaf for $6,000 now. Charge it up, 80 miles of charge, do your thing. So, okay, $200 a month doesn't pay for an Uber Black SUV. I said I make $200 a day. $200 a day. This vehicle costs me $500 a week. 500 times 4 is $2,000. That's what I pay for this truck. All right, let's see. No, I thought about that. I thought about getting an electric bike and doing Postmates. In the end, what's going to end up happening is I'm gonna have my $1,900. What's that thing? My $1,900 GMC Envoy. That's gonna get me back and forth to my security jobs. And then I'll take it from there. So it's all right. I'm not mad. It's what it is. Let's see if this thing works. Probably won't. We'll see. All right, where are we at now, people? Let me see. I was talking to Albert. Oh, okay, Journey. I hear you. Maybe it's something that he wrote. Oh, that's why you get a cheap car that's $200 a month. Oh no, Albert. I after this truck, I do not plan on ever financing a vehicle ever again. I am very tempted to do it, but the reality with me is this. every time I commit to something that requires monthly payments, it always ends badly. Either either it gets repossessed or I get kicked out. That's just how it is. And I just don't want to deal with that pain anymore. So, this truck, the pressure of performing to make the $500 a week payment, I need that to end. When I had the pressure of having to pay the rent on the apartment, and I did everything I could to prevent losing my apartment, that hurt. It hurt badly. So no, I'm not willing to do car payments. I know, look, I live in LA. If I want to get another car, I can get another car tomorrow. That is for a fact. You can get a car. You can find somebody who will put you in a vehicle if you're willing to pay outrageous interest for it and turn over. But my thing is this: I'm going to have to come up with $2,000 for a down payment anyway. I have an opportunity to buy a vehicle that's in good condition for the same money, and I own it outright. I'm going to go with the vehicle that I own outright, because once I own it, unless it's stolen or totaled out, or I don't pay parking tickets on the vehicle, it's mine. Nobody's going to take it. And that's what I need right now. I need to eliminate that pressure of making weekly and monthly payments on a vehicle I don't own, a vehicle I will never own. I want to move to Alabama because, let's face it, the way I'm living right now, I don't want this to happen again. And the only way to avoid that from happening, you need to own your house. I don't want a mortgage. I don't want to rent a room. I don't want to live in a place where, one day it's okay to be there, and then the next day, oh, this isn't working out, we need space back. No. I want my own house. And if that means I have to move to another state, then that's what's gonna have to happen. And I'm willing to work for it. So that's the thing. Before I leave Rideshare, I need to be in a vehicle I own. That's why I'm still doing this right now, because I need this vehicle to help me make the money necessary to acquire the vehicle that I want, so I can move on with my life. That's where I am right now. I want to do things differently for the remainder of my life. I look back on all the stuff I've done before, the stuff that didn't work, and the stuff that did work, and I'm like, okay, I need to change a few things. I need to be very honest with myself, and I need to change a lot of things, and that's what I'm going to do. So that's where I am. Some people might disagree with it, but it's okay. So how much money did you make yesterday? I made about $200 yesterday. I wasn't trying to make a lot of money on Halloween. I really wasn't. All I wanted was enough money to put gas in this truck and to help me get the money for the battery. That was it. I wasn't trying to break the bank like I used to in the past, because I'm not interested in doing that anymore. I'm keeping this truck long enough to help me buy the truck that I want and move on. But as far as my motivation for doing this work, I really just don't have the motivation anymore. I do what's necessary. I greet the people professionally. I say hi. I confirm their location, and then that's it. If they ask for music, I give them the auxiliary cord. They listen to whatever music they want. If they have conversation, great. I'm not trying to engage conversation, but if the conversation is good, I'll work with it. It's all right. But the funny thing is, as soon as the person gets to their location, okay, they cut off everything and they run away from the truck. So, I'm like, look, my days of trying to pursue $500 a day, $400 a day, $350 a day. No, then I'm done. Like today, in the past, I wouldn't be running my mouth. I'm talking on live stream. It's only 9:01 on a Friday night. Please, I should be making money, but you know what? I don't feel like it. So I'm sitting here in the parking lot at Walmart talking to y'all because this is what I want to do. You know, I don't, you know, I can't. I got this battery sitting in the back of the vehicle, and my priority now is to get this battery installed tomorrow. And if I could got the battery installed tonight, then I'd be working tonight. But I can't get it installed tonight, and I don't want to take the chance of this truck shutting down on me when I need it to start and it can't start, and I literally got a battery right in the back. So no, I'm just gonna wait until I can get it installed tomorrow and go from there. So I'm taking it easy tonight. You know, the benefits of being self-employed. You do what you want to do. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, Nissan Leaf, it's cool. Thanks for that vote of confidence and encouragement, Mr. Tapia. I appreciate that. Let's see. Let me do a few other. Okay, we already did that. That's why I only drive a Camry and a Sentra. I must be a lot. Use the gross that. Ouch. Drivers trip in England. Yeah, no, man, that's the same. That's the same thing, man. You know, you said you make the equivalent of $230 after expenses. You'd be lucky to make $80, and it's not good. No, it's not. And a lot of people are suffering because of that. He says, "I'm leaving Rideshare very soon." Yeah, let me see. How much money did you make? What are you getting a Tesla? Truck people are very loyal to our brand. Oh yeah, Jinjoy, if you're still here, people are loyal to brands when it comes to trucks. And you know the reason why people are very loyal to specific brands when they buy those trucks? You're looking at a vehicle that costs brand new $250,000. You're looking at very expensive oil changes, very expensive tires, very expensive maintenance altogether. And you have a person who is spending a considerable amount of their lives in this vehicle. The vehicle is an extension of themselves. In fact, the vehicle is as valued as a pet. I mean, think about it. You know, the vehicle represents, you know, your values, who you are. You make an active choice with this vehicle, and you get to know the ins and outs of these trucks. It's the same way like saying someone has bought a car. I mean, like for me, the best car that I have ever driven, the best car in my opinion that I've ever had, in a vehicle that I will always buy hands down, is a G12 BMW 7 Series. Period. I don't need to be looking at anything else. I love that car. That car absolutely, positively does no wrong for me. It is the most perfect car I've ever experienced, I've ever driven. I know enough about the vehicle to say, you know what? I'm one of those people. I'll buy one of those and I'll keep it till it falls apart, and then I'll turn around and buy another one. And like, there's some people, the only Mercedes Benz they will ever buy is a W124 S-Class. That's the one that was made from the early 80s until 1991. Is it the 124? Or is that the older body style? I think you know the one I'm talking about. You know, those classic 560 SELs. The one J.R. Ewing drove. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The big body Benz back. You know, the 300 SEL. The 300 SD, the 420 SEL, the 560 SEL, the real Mercedes S-Class, the ones that predated the ones from 1992 and all like that. I think the ones from 1992, those were the 124s. But you'll never see them in anything but that car. They will go and they will look and they will find the cleanest, lowest mileage vehicle, and they will take care of it forever, because those cars are like that. Well, me, you know, I'm into that I'm into that new G12 7 series. But now that I'm turned on to electric cars, you know, I'm feeling the Chevy Bolt and the Tesla Model 3. Those are my two go-tos. But I tell you, I like that Audi e-tron. That Audi e-tron is nice. I'm like, yeah, that and the look is really good. It looks like it has a lot of space, a lot of comfort. Um, and I think Audi's going to do very well with the e-tron. I'm starting to see quite a few of them around on the road now. But um, you know, Tesla still has its strengths when it comes down to it. Ooh, ooh, it's getting that time. This is when I usually start yawning. It's at 9 o'clock, and then I get sleepy at about I get sleepy about 11:30, and I have to shut it down at midnight. That's just the normal thing for me. Man, I gotta shave my face. This excuse me. Ooh, that was a big one. This itching is getting on my nerves. Oh man. Let me see. All right, everybody. Does anyone else have any other questions for me? Any other statements they would like to make or so? Because if not, I'm going ahead and hang it up. It's getting late, and I figure I might as well go on ahead and take off. But anybody else got something to say? All right, then I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye to everybody. I hope y'all are having a great evening out there. Take care of yourselves, and let me see. Are you not going to Atlanta? No. Right now, it looks like Atlanta's not going to happen. Um, Atlanta's not going to happen for a couple of reasons. I was expecting to be done with rideshare by today. I held out for rideshare this long because I wanted to work on Halloween. And when Halloween came and went, I didn't work Halloween nowhere near as hard as I thought I would because of the issues I'm having with the battery on this truck, and my motivation just isn't there. I did a few rides on Halloween on the 31st. It was very busy for me during the day, but at night, I wasn't feeling it, so I let it go. Hey Omar, what's going on with you, man? So and then the fact is this: there's this vehicle I want to buy, and I don't have the money to buy it, and I won't have the money to buy it for a while. And that vehicle may not be available to me much longer. But I'll talk to the owner and see what he says. He'll probably hold it for me, but then again, he might not. And if he doesn't, then it's okay, fine. You know, I'll look for something else. Yeah, I'll be sad about it, but I'll get over it. No big deal. It's just a car. The other thing is, you know, my friend who has the room available at his house, he's going to need a tenant. He needs someone to pay for the room. It's not going to be free. He's not going to sit around and wait for me if I can't get off the pot and do it. But the reality is, the other thing is this: it's now November 1st. The earliest I can get rid of this truck is December 1st now, because I have to give the owner 1 month notice before I let go of the vehicle. And I'm going to give him the 1 month notice tomorrow when I see him. Now, I want to make sure that when I move to Atlanta, I have enough money in my pocket. Right now, I just won't have enough money, you know, in my pocket to make that move happen. So right now, that's postponed. I got a couple opportunities that are establishing themselves here in California, and I'm like, you know what? It's probably just for the best that I stay out here and continue to tough it out, and keep Atlanta in the back of my head. Once I'm out of this truck, once I don't have this Yukon anymore, and I'm no longer dealing with rideshare in that particular way, then I can make more concrete decisions. Because right now, what's anchoring me to rideshare is this truck. I have to get rid of this truck. But in order for me to get rid of the truck, I have a 1 month period of time that I have to give the owner of the vehicle before I can walk away. I can't just take it to him tomorrow and say, hey, I'm done, here you go. If that were the case, I'd be in Atlanta right now, but it's not the case. And so it's that fact is affecting what I do moving forward. So, um, right now I'm in a holding pattern right now. But my intent is to get out of rideshare as quickly as possible because I'm not happy with rideshare anymore. I'm not accomplishing my goals, and I really don't want to do um, I don't want to do what I have to do to change that. I'd rather do something else. No matter what, I'm spending a minimum of $4,400 a month just for this vehicle, and and I'm tired of it. I really am. I'm tired of it. So I'm ready to move on. I've given 3 years to this, and I have not accomplished my goals. My life situation has deteriorated because of my decision to work, and you know people say, oh, you didn't work enough, you didn't put in enough hours, you worked the wrong places. Okay, fine, I did. It still won't change my mind. Because I'm still the one who has to put in the work to make these changes happen, and I don't want to do that. um, so instead of Alabama, would you instead move to somewhere in Nevada and pay cash for a home? um, Yes, I would. I would if I could move to Nevada and pay less than $20,000 for a house there. Yeah, I'm looking to move to a place where I can move into a serviceable house for less than $20,000. All I need is one room where I can put a bed, where I don't have to worry about bugs falling on top of me when I sleep, or bugs crawling on me as I sleep, um, and plumbing so I can take a shower, drink water, and use the pot, use the toilet comfortably without fear. The rest of the house could be falling apart, and I'll renovate it. But at this point, for me to get a house, I have no problem being in this situation, save my money, and then find a spot and say, okay, this house is $15,000, and then when you're done paying all the various taxes and everything like that, it's $20, and I move in, it's mine, free and clear. All I got to pay is property taxes. So, because I do not want a mortgage, I do not want to be paying $1,000 a month to live somewhere. If I am paying a mortgage on a place, it better be nice. I'm not saying keeping up with the Kardashians is nice, but something cool, a basic KB home or whatever, something whatnot. I'd have to see, but I'm not trying to commit myself to monthly payments because I usually screw up monthly payments. It's unfortunate, it's sad to say, but it's the truth with me. So I'm like, I'm starting over my life, and I want to be cash only. And there are still places in this country where you can buy a house for cash. I mean, you can buy any house for cash. It's just, do you have it? Oprah Winfrey, but I'm like, nah, I got for me to save to save to save anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 for a house. um that would take me a reasonable amount of time, but I can do it. I mean, I've had that much and much more in my checking account at one point. I had plenty of money at one point in my life, man. I had almost $200,000 in my checking account. So for me to look, and if I had learned about it at Alabama or cheap houses everywhere where I had that kind of money, oh my goodness, I would have bought 10 of those houses and would have rented them all out if I had known about that then. But see, I know about it now, so it's what it is. But so this is what it is when it comes down to it. But to answer your question, Nomad, yes, if I could find a house that I could pay cash for, and I would live there, I'd have no problem, going to Nevada, going to Phoenix, anywhere else in the country, it would be no problem. I was, one of the things I was thinking about doing, I was thinking about buying some land here in California. You can get land up in Lancaster for like $4,000, and then I would go and I would buy me a what are those things called? Those van conversions, like a Par Hump, Nevada. Okay, I'll look into that and see what that's all about. Get a van conversion, just drive it there and park it and live in the van and be cool, you know. But we'll see. Um, now some of these places that got cheap homes, one of the catches, there some of them have a couple of catches. One catch is that in order to get the house, you have to be 55 or over. They're retirement communities. Like I found a mobile home in Victorville, and they only want $10,000 for it. I'm like, I could do $10,000 for 10 grand. I got a couple of people who will loan me that money, and I'll keep doing rideshare to pay it off if that's what it takes to pay it down. I'm saying, okay, I got a place to live. I'll do rideshare, but I called and inquired about it. They said, well, yeah, the price is true, but it's a 55 and over community, and you have a HOA, a homeowners association of about $500 a month. I'm like, I don't want to deal with a HOA, so that eliminated that option right there. Um, so that. That was another question that I had. Oh, Dewey, I am currently in where am I at? I'm in. Let me tell you exactly where I am, because I got the receipt for the battery. Let's see. I am in West Hills, California. I am off of Fallbrook Avenue in West Hills. So you're in Santa Monica. I'm about maybe 45 minutes away from you. Um, how long are you going to be in Santa Monica? I'm past 100 minutes right now, so I should be wrapping up this live stream. You're in Santa Monica. I could actually drive down there to see you. Let me see. Would you buy a home in the middle of nowhere if it came with land? Absolutely, I would buy a house in the middle, because all I need now to make money, quite frankly, all I need is the internet connection. As long as I can get an internet connection, I can make money with that. I'm okay. Because that's the direction I want to head. But yeah, if I could get a house and it was in the middle of nowhere, but it came with land, and I can get me one of those tractors those lawnmower tractors to cut the grass, because I love grass. I love cutting grass. That's my thing. Um, I'm like, okay, I would gladly take it. Is this a cheap house with lots of land on it? I am definitely you've got my attention. Man, that hurt. Ooh, I spit my ears really hard. That hurt, man. Oh goodness gracious, that was not a good thing to do. That man, that pinch really hurt. All right. Oh goodness, my skin is itching so. Oh, these bumps are driving me crazy. Uh, Let me see. Where's home? You're about to head home. Where is that, Dewey? It would be great for us to meet up. That would be great. If not, we'll probably have to plan for it another time. Oh goodness. Uh, Let me see. You're about to head home. Where is home? Let me know where home is. Let's see. P-A-P-H-A Pahrump, Nevada. P-H-A-R-U-M-P. Omar, I'm doing good. You don't work the night shift. Oh, Deals Doc, I'm sorry. You asked the question about 20 minutes ago. I don't work the night shift. Um, I used to work the night shift all the time, but that was because I depended on caffeine. I would usually at about maybe 11 o'clock, 12 midnight, I would drink a 24-hour, I'm sorry, not a 5-hour energy. And the 5-hour energy would keep me up until about maybe 5 o'clock in the morning. And so I did work the night shift. But when I ran my blood pressure, and my blood pressure was 238 over 119, and I realized that I was in very dangerous territory to get my blood pressure down quickly. Um, the caffeine had to go. I will absolutely never take a caffeine product ever again, because if I take caffeine again, um, that stuff will kill me, and I don't want to do that. I've already compromised my health enough for making money, and I'm not going to do that. So I'm dropping my blood pressure so I can protect my health as best as I can, because I don't want a stroke. So working the night shift just isn't possible for me, because I naturally get sleepy. I start yawning at 9, and I've already had my regularly scheduled yawn, and I get sleepy around 11 o'clock, 11:30. By 11:45, I'm ready to go to sleep, and 12 o'clock, I'm out. So and I don't fight that anymore. When it's time for me to sleep, I make sure I have a good spot to park the truck. I recline the seat back, and I sleep for about 6.5 hours. That's the best I can do in the truck. When I have when I get enough money, I try to get a motel room and sleep in the motel room, but I haven't been able to make enough money in several months. So I have an alternative spot I go to. I'm only able to be in the room for 8 hours at a time, though. So, it's what it is when it comes down to it. But one at the nightclubs in a while, because I'm not awake at 2 o'clock in the morning. So, so that's that. Let's see what my blood pressure is now, because I test it like every day now at this point. So, okay. So right now I'm at 153 over 104. My pulse rate is 98. So I'm doing all right. At one point I had it at 140 over 90 with a pulse rate of 80. So, I'm getting better. But I got a long way to go, because I gotta get it to 120 over 80, and I have to be able to consistently keep it at 120 over 80. I did not get the Viagra prescription. I do know that Viagra does assist in lowering your blood pressure. That's what it was originally. That's what they originally came out with the medication for, to help with blood pressure. What they found was it caused erections instead. So they do market a lower formula of Viagra. It's given a totally different name, but it is marketed for the specific purpose that they said. Well, the one thing I'm noticing here is that my diastolic is fairly consistent at 108. It hasn't changed. It hasn't varied much. It's my systolic. It keeps going crazy, and my pulse rate is all right. So, but no, I'm not on blood pressure meds right now. But what I want to do is I want to partner with one of those community service centers, so that I can get on lisinopril and be prescribed that, and hopefully that will help my blood pressure go down. But what I need to do is I need to lose weight. I really do. I need to lose. Right now I weigh like, I think 275 I weigh right now, and I need to get my weight down to 200 pounds. That's what I need to do. I need to be serious about it and not this halfway stuff I've been doing over the years. Um, so, but, and then once my blood pressure is taken care of, um, then I'll revisit driving commercially. I'm not going to pursue it and get my hopes up for it, and turns out I can't do it because I won't pass the health test. So, you know, that's kicked to the curb. But by the time I do get my blood pressure where it needs to be, I'll probably be doing something else, and it won't be interesting. Yeah, I am tired. This is when I normally start getting sleepy. It's at 9 o'clock. I usually start working at 9 o'clock in the morning. I work through the day. I'll take a nap between 2 and 4, usually when I have to have a nap because I don't get a full 8 hours of sleep because I'm sleeping here. And then around 9 o'clock is when I first start yawning. My yawns will increase beginning around 10:30. By 11 o'clock, I'm really, really tired. And then by 11:30, I'm fighting to keep my eyes awake. And I'll usually stop driving at midnight, and I'll find a place to sleep at that point at midnight. It's very rare for me now to be up past 2 a.m. To 2 a.m. to pick up someone from the clubs. Even on, like, tonight is a great night to be working the clubs tonight because you're going to get a lot of rides tonight. But the thing is, I won't have the energy for it, and I'm not going to force myself up because I remember when I was staying with Cynthia, and I was forcing myself awake. Hey, Matthew Cunningham, how's it going? I would force myself to stay awake at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because I had to get back to. I don't have sleep apnea. I do not have sleep apnea. That I know for a fact because I sleep very well at night, and when I have an appropriate place to sleep, I get a full 8 hours of sleep. Whenever I wake up in the morning, I don't feel tired or groggy or have any memory issues or so like that. What I'm dealing with right now is I just don't have a consistent, regular place to sleep where I can get comfortable sleep. When I had my apartment, when I had my my place to stay, I energy was always fine do the whole deal. I sleep comfortably, as comfortable as can be expected in this vehicle, but I don't have sleep apnea. Because if I did have sleep apnea, I'd have no problem saying that I did have it, but I don't. Because and that's the other thing. My sleeping schedule, when I get sleepy, how I get sleepy, it's predictable. I know exactly when it's going to happen. It is the same way every night for the last 3-4 years. This because of what my situation has been like. I know that I'm going to the yawns are going to come at 9 o'clock. It comes right on time. I know that I start getting progressively more tired between 9 and 11. By the time 11:30 comes here, it's going to be challenging to stay awake. By midnight, it's time for me to go to sleep. That's not sleep apnea. That's my sleep schedule. That's how it is. In the past, at midnight, I would take a 5-hour energy. The 5-hour energy would keep me awake until 4 in the morning. That allowed me to take on the nighttime people or so like that. But since I've stopped using the caffeine, when I get sleepy at midnight, I basically shut down the vehicle and I don't push myself any harder. Today, I'm not driving because I need a new battery for the truck, and I don't want to take a risk of the battery, the vehicle dying on me when I need it to start, and I'll be stranded because I can't get another jump start. And I just spent everything I had to get a brand new battery in this vehicle. So I'm like, play it safe, so hard tomorrow and make the money necessary for the truck, and we'll go from there. So you can still find deals in smaller cities. You need a hatchback where the seats are full or fold all the way down. Okay. I have the same problem here. No money equals no motivation. Yeah, I mean, that's the same that's the same. That's what I'm dealing with right now. I don't have the motivation to really do rideshare anymore because the thing is this. Um, I've been doing rideshare now for 3.5 years. April will be 4 years I've been doing rideshare, and and been doing rideshare for 4 years, and my standard of living is gone because of rideshare, because of depending on rideshare and doing this thing full time. But you know, I have a very mixed relationship with rideshare because see, here's the thing. I was hurt. I was hurt when I was fired from my job, and I needed a way to continue making money, and I needed a way to continue supporting myself in some kind of way. I needed to heal emotionally. I needed to forgive myself. I needed to forgive Metro. I needed to forgive everything. But I also needed to be completely on my own, and I needed to be in a place where I had no real responsibility because I I would not have made it on a job if I had gotten back into a regular position. Um, so I'm like, in a way, in equal measure, I'm thankful for rideshare, but I'm also disgusted with rideshare. So I have a mixed relation. I have a love hate relationship with this thing we call rideshare, because it helped me, but it hurt me. But my look is this. I don't hate rideshare the way I dislike what happened to me at Metro, because I'm walking away from me. Metro, they took that away from me. They hurt me. They hurt me at a very difficult time, at a very vulnerable time. And they made sure they let me know how bad they were hurting me. And I realized that actually today. That's why I'm able to talk about it now like this, because I realized the reason why I was so wishy-washy on going back to Metro. Because see, I know exactly what I have to do to go back to Metro and make it work. But the thing is, I don't want to make it work because it's like going back to an abusive relationship. You get to a point where when you're in a relationship where you're being abused, you're going to get to a point where you're just going to lay down and continue taking it, or going to say, you know what, this is unacceptable, and this is not going to work for me anymore, and I'm going to say no, and I'm going to put my foot down, and whatever happens after that is what happens after that. But I will not be disrespected anymore. And that's where I am with rideshare also. That's how I am with Metro too. I'm like, yeah, it's what it is. It didn't work for me the way I hoped it would, but I'm not going back to a relationship that I feel will be abusive towards me, because at the end, the only person that's going to get hurt is me, and I don't want to get hurt anymore. Man, I keep getting stuffy. I lived in a fifth wheel trailer for 8 years. Live where you're smart, man. You can do whatever. Bless up. Um, yo, we'll see, Rasha. What's up, man? Hey, Steven, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I really do. Um, hey, John Leonard, I get it. You lived in your trailer for 8 years. You lived in a fifth wheel trailer for 8 years. You had an organized pace to live for 8 years. There are a lot of people who are actually doing that because it's affordable. You're living life on your own terms. You're saving a ton of money. You don't have the expenses you do of a typical house. Um, me, I'm. Hey, you never know. I might do that. I might decide to give me an old. Hey, I have the Envoy. I'll be getting the Envoy, and I could put a fifth wheel on the back of that thing, and buy a piece of land up in Lancaster, and do that. I mean, it's an option. It is an option. So you can get a fifth wheel trailer for something affordable, and go from there. Um, and then when I need to move around, unhitch it and drive the truck and do what I need to. Yeah, so with the type of license you have, you can always get different types of driving jobs. Right now, I have a commercial license, but the thing is, my health, my medical is not current. My blood pressure is too high. I'm not going to pass the medical right now. Technically, I have stage 3 hypertension when I take my blood pressure test and everything like that. So I'm not going to pass it. Everything else is fine. My hearing is fine. I get 100% on my hearing. My vision is fine. I always pass my hearing. I always pass my vision. Driving record comes back clean. The only issue I have, oh, my sugar comes back clean. The only issue I have is I have my blood pressure, and so I want to have that under solid control for 3 months before I entertain um, driving for a living again. But I probably won't do it. I'll probably do something else. See, I need to lose weight. I've got to get um, um, I gotta lose weight and do that. As far as the changes that are coming to Uber and Lyft, to be very blunt, I don't care. I don't, because I really won't be doing that for much longer. My job now at this point is just simply get the people in the vehicle, be professional and cool and respectful and great with them, and make the money I need so I can move away from this thing. They can do whatever they want to do. I don't care. Um, I'm slowly being pushed out anyway when it comes down to it. So whatever changes they're making, like Geo had just made a video saying that the surge multiplier is back. Okay, whoop-de-doo. That's wonderful, but I don't care. Lyft is got this thing now where they're putting your first and last name on all the receipts so people know your information. I really don't care, because everybody knows my first and last name on the internet anyway. So I'm like, okay. Um, I've defended myself as best as I can against any possible identity theft and things like that. Um, there's only so much you can do when that comes down to it, because you have some evil people out there who believe that what they're doing is right by stealing people's identity and taking advantage of them. Um, but it's what it is. What else? You know, I do believe that when everything is said and done, Uber and Lyft, they're going to get their day of reckoning, because all that's going to happen is you're going to have a number. You're going to have a number of drivers who are going to wake up, and they're going to see that this isn't working for them anymore, and those drivers are going to leave Uber and Lyft. And unless Uber and Lyft has contingency plans in place to take advantage of the fact, um, to manage their businesses, when a number of the drivers that apparently aren't important to their bottom line leaves, you know, so it's like, look, Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash, they want to spend $90 million to keep drivers in the same position they are, and they want to tell us that, oh, it's going to impact your influence and your ability to be independent and everything like that. They want to say all this stuff because they want to continue earning money the way they want to make money. So I'm like, look, here's my thing. I'm going to make sure that I do a good job as a driver. I'm not going to get mad at the customers, because it's not the customer's fault. I'm not going to be mad at the companies, because hey, the companies are doing what they got to do. What I need to do is I need to make as much lemonade as I can out of the lemon I've gotten. And what I need to do is I need to make sure that the limo partner, the guy who owns this vehicle, that he is appropriately paid for this vehicle, so I can walk away from it and thank him, so I don't burn a bridge with him. I need to make sure that when I give this vehicle to him, that I have another vehicle waiting for me, so I can get around this city, and I can take advantage of any employment opportunities that come my way without having to take public transportation or ride on Rideshare to get around. That's what I need to do. But what they do now or so like that, I'm like, look, I really don't care. I just don't. Um, I like Maven. I love Maven. I think Maven is great. But the problem is Maven wants a ton of money for their electric vehicles now. And when you are under that kind of pressure, where you have to pay $325 a week plus taxes for the car, and you're only making $175 a day for the vehicle, that pressure is kind of it's kind of hard to deal with. But I like Maven. I used Maven. I used them for 2 months. They had me in a Chevy Bolt, and I loved it. And then they had me in a Chevy Malibu, and Chevy Malibu is one of the worst cars I ever drove. And then I let go of the Malibu, and the Bolt that they were going to put me in to replace it to um, I decided to take a chance on this SUV. And yes, the Malibu is that bad. It really is. It is. Goodness gracious. When they say General Motors means generally mediocre, it's that bad. It really is. That car, I'm gonna tell you, I had a 1997 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme when I got back to LA in 2010, and I got I got a car. It was a 1997 Cutlass Supreme, and I drove that car because it was cheap. It was $3,200, and it was cheap to keep, and it did the job. It was comfy, cushy. Nothing cost more than $50 to fix on that car, and I wasn't concerned about driving dynamics and comfort and features and stuff. I needed a car that I could start, put in drive, go, stop, get out, lock, do my job, come back to it, repeat, wash it once every blue moon, so I wouldn't look too bad. And it did the job until the water pump busted on me and the engine overheated, and then I'm driving around the car, and I eventually got my Chevy Cruze, which the Chevy Cruze was one of the best cars I ever had. I know when I say one of the best cars, I mean that car was perfect in just about every way I could think of. I mean, a lot of people had problems with the Chevy Cruze. I didn't have any problems with my car. My car was perfect. I loved my Chevy Cruze. Oh my God, GM hit a major home run with that car. I'm gonna tell you, that Chevy Cruze that I had, I liked it better than any Honda Civic I've ever owned. And I've owned, my goodness, I've owned so many Honda Civics, and it was great. Now, I have read that the Chevy Cruze is just a myriad of problems with that car. I mean, people had steering wheels falling off of them. That's bad. Seats going bad, transmission problems, engine trouble, brake problems, any kind of problem you could think of in a car, people had with the Chevy Cruze. My car, the worst thing that happened with my car was I had a bad, what was that thing called? A tensioner. With drive belt, when you rev it up and it keeps the drive belt tensioned or so. That was it. I had no other problems with my car. I had that car for 75,000 miles. It was great on gas. It was fun to drive. The brakes were halfway decent. Decent luggage space. It was not a good car for rideshare because it was the rear seat was very tight. But see, when I bought the car so he'd get me back and forth to work reliably, and that's what it did. I never had a problem with the Chevy Cruze. The only other problem was the battery was bad. I had to replace the battery after 2 years. I had the car for 3 years, but the battery went bad after 2 years. But see, I had like 70 something thousand miles on the car on it before it got repoed. And the car was a total joy to drive. And hey Edward, what's up? So I loved my Chevy Cruze. but but a lot of other people, they had bad experience with the Chevy Cruze, and I get it. I was hit in the car. I was rear-ended in my Chevy Cruze. This guy hit me in the corner of the vehicle, and I'm gonna tell you, the guy hit me in a Toyota Sienna going about 30 miles an hour, and he hit me so hard that it spun my car around. And then I drove the car into the driveway, and when before I got out the car, I just knew my rear end was obliterated. I knew my car was gone. It was undrivable. But I was surprised that the rear window hadn't cracked. It hadn't burst. I got out the car expecting just to cry and everything. And all that happened on the rear end of my car was my rear bumper, the rear right corner of my bumper was torn, and there was a 6-inch depression in the metal underneath the bumper, but there was no other damage. The tail end wasn't cracked. The tail ends wasn't cracked. The rear fender wasn't touched. The trunk opened and closed normally. I could see that the trunk was about maybe 2 millimeters tighter on the driver's side and about 2 millimeters wider on the passenger side. But I have a very, very sharp eye for those things. So it had 2 millimeters of you could say frame damage. But that was it. It wasn't noticeable to a regular person. If you're looking for it, let me tell you how good that car was. That car, I got the car fixed a year after it was repoed because I didn't have the money to replace the bumper. The bumper cost me $800 to replace. I had to wait 2 years to raise the money for it. I took the bumper, had it painted, but it wasn't glossed the right way. He just painted it and put it on there. And I'm like, it was good enough. To the untrained eye, it's like, okay, car looks fine. The guy color matched it properly and everything, but it wasn't like it was brand new, but it was like 98% there. The car got repoed, and I found out that the car was sold to Keys Chevrolet. If anyone's in LA, Keys Chevrolet, the Keys Automotive Group for that matter, they have a reputation of having the best used cars on their lot. I know because I used to work there years ago, and the used car sales manager, I'm telling you, as far as appearance is concerned, they're very serious about the appearance of the cars. They really, really good cars they have there. And I said, appearance wise, I know my car is going to land on somebody's used car lot because I'm fussy about taking care of my cars, especially the interior. And I was very, very pleased to see that it ended up at Keys Toyota or Keys Chevrolet. It didn't go to the Toyota lot; it went to the Chevy lot. So they sold my car, a Chevy Cruze, at a Chevy dealership. It was nice. It was pretty cool. But the thing is, the car that hit me was a Toyota Sienna, and that Sienna was totaled out. His entire front end was pushed in about a foot. Both fenders, the hood, the radiator, the headlights, both headlights, and the front bumper were completely screwed up. It was, I wish I still had pictures, but I lost the pictures. And but his car was totaled. My car, I had 2 millimeters pushed to the left, and a 6-inch gash that was hidden under the bumper. In order for you to find the damage, you had to remove the bumper to find it, and if you didn't know where to look, you would have never found the damage. It was that good. I think if I find the pictures of it, I'll show y'all. It was something. I got the pictures. They're just buried under in the hard drive file under 25,000 other pictures I've taken from my lifetime. So, but no, I had a good experience with my Chevy Cruze. Um, I wouldn't know what it took. I wouldn't know what it would take to buy another one though. But I will say this. So I had big expectations for that 2019 Malibu I had. They put me in a brand new Chevy Malibu, and no, no, my car, when that guy in his Sienna hit my car, his radiator was taken out. My car was hit in the rear. His front end made contact with the rear corner of my car, and his vehicle was completely totaled out. His front end was bashed in really bad. I looked at his car and I'm like, my goodness, you would have thought that he hit somebody really hard. He hit me really hard. But see, my car, to the untrained eye, my car had no damage to it other than the bumper cover being torn and a 6-inch depression inside of one of the components. The everything else was perfectly fine. I took a piece of wire, and I put a hole in the bumper and I tied it up and kept it like that for a year, and the bumper was just hanging there on a piece of metal wire for a year until I bought a brand new bumper cover, took it to a independent body shop, had them repainted and install it on the car. So California trash and bumper parts. Oh yeah, in California, the highway patrol comes, they pick up, they sweep the stuff, they push it in the corner, they keep on going, and you'll see that bumper sitting there for weeks before they finally come and clean all that stuff up. That's just how it is. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Even at 275,000 miles, I ran over garbage on a highway and didn't think it was worth a bumper and radiator. Oh, okay. I see Rick reviews. I see what you're saying. Okay, you had a 97 Taurus, your first car. You bought it expecting nothing, and it made a 275 mile. One idler went out for $5. Well, I didn't think it was worth a bumper and radiator. Wow. Here's the thing. Modern cars that are engineered today, here's the thing with a car, and this is what I've learned. If you buy any brand new car off the lot today, I don't care who makes it, and you do absolutely no maintenance to it, you don't open the hood at all, that car will last you 50,000 miles, because eventually the oil will run out, or the coolant will run bad, or it'll die at 50,000 miles. If you do halfway maintenance on the car, it'll last you 150,000 miles before you start having serious issues with it. If you do everything the manufacturer says by the book and then some, and you're really careful with the car, you'll get 300,000 miles out of a car. Of course, you're going to replace some things here and there or so. If you're meticulous with the car, you could possibly get 1,000,000 miles on some of these cars. If you say, look, you double your oil change interval. Like, for example, instead of replacing oil once every 5,000 miles or every 75,000 miles, you replace that oil every 3,000 miles. You always run with clean oil in your car. Your engine coolant, you replace your coolant every 30,000 miles like you did back in the day. You don't do 150,000 miles like they're trying to get you to do now. You put the best gas in your car. You run one brand, Chevron or Mobil, and that's it. You put the good stuff in your car. You basically drive it every day to keep the exhaust system nice and dry, so nothing accumulates inside. No moisture accumulates in the exhaust system. You live in a climate that is conducive to keeping the car dry, like basically in the Southwest. Down here in Southern California, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, the parts of Texas that aren't affected by hurricanes. You don't have a lot of dust and everything. You just basically have dry weather. No, it doesn't see snow. It doesn't see moisture. and you drive the car where it reaches normal operating temperature and it stays there for the vast majority of the time it works, you aren't doing a lot of city driving, yeah, and you buy a car with solid engineering behind it, you can get a car that can last 1,000,000 miles. You know, these guys, they had that 1,000,000 mile Lexus, and they proved it's definitely possible. They bought it was a 1998 LS 400, and you know, that had the solid. You know, one used car I would love to buy and see what it's like. I would get a 2004 to 2006 LS 430. I think that's a solid used car to have. One of the reasons why I think it's a solid, have to replace the timing chain, the timing belt on that car every 90,000 miles. That's the requirement interval. So someone has to look in that motor, and they have to pull it. They have to pull it out partially to look at the motor to see what's going on to replace that belt. Um, you know, I think that's a good deal. You can get a good LS 430 with less than 200,000 miles on it for around $7,000. So you're gonna pay a bit more money for it, you know, because it's a rear drive car, but you're getting a solid vehicle when it comes down to it. I would buy one of those. So, you know, that's that. Let's see what else we got here. I took care of that Taurus though. I put a transmission cooler in and changed the transfer at 50,000 miles. Yep. It also had a bulletproof plain Vulcan engine. Yeah. Ford had made that Vulcan engine forever, and so those cars did not have problems because by the time, you know, they stopped making the engine, it was as perfect as it was going to get, because whenever they had a problem, they just kept improving the parts, and it wasn't a powerful engine, it was a durable car. So that's the thing, and folk don't want durable anymore. They want something that's hot and sexy now. All right, my dad ran over a cinder block in someone's driveway and did 4,000 worth of damage to the underside. Yeah, that kind of happens sometimes. You run over those things and not paying attention. What you have for dinner tonight? Um, Today I had a Subway sub. I went to Subway. I had a foot long, but I had two different 6 inchers. I had a, what was it? One was a tuna, and the other one was their was their beef brisket. I wanted to try their beef brisket, and it was very good. It was very tender. Um, and on both sandwiches, I had my typical stuff: lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, cucumber, bell pepper. I had sweet onion teriyaki on the sweet onion on the tuna, and the standard barbecue sauce that came with the barbecue sauce that came with this the barbecue sauce. Oh, that's the Chinnacockleon. It's on its way. Oh, I'll be knocked out at midnight, people. I will go to sleep at midnight. Um, the brisket. They have a barbecue sauce they put with the brisket that's standard, and then I had the sweet onion teriyaki. That's what it is. It's called sweet onion teriyaki. I had that with the tuna 6 inch. So I had a foot long, and then I had 3 cookies: a chocolate chip, a peanut butter, and an oatmeal raisin. And I had some of their lemonade. They got this really cool mint blueberry hibiscus. Excuse me. Ooh, lemonade. I had that, and what else did they have? I had that, and I had some of the regular lemonade, and that was it. And then when I got the battery to celebrate the battery, I went and I had a Blue Bunny ice cream thing. So there you go. I did not go to LAX today. I do not plan on going back to LAX unless I get a person who needs to be dropped off at LAX. As far as doing pickups at LAX, I'm not doing pickups at LAX ever again. LAX is what it is. I'm staying away from it. I stopped doing pickups at LAX a long time ago anyway, so it's really no big deal. It's just this time I'm going to intentionally stay away from LAX, because I was canceled on after going through all that traffic, and I just don't want to experience that anymore. It's the same thing that happened to me when I worked at Dodger Stadium, which is why I don't like working Dodger Stadium anymore. Same thing happened to me at at any major sporting event that happens in Los Angeles. So I try to stay away from sporting events. I try to stay away from Hollywood Bowl. Any of these large events that go, I stay away from them because, the app will cancel you now. At least with Lyft. It says if it says Lyft canceled, what happens is somebody else completes a trip. That driver is a little closer than I am. You go through all the trouble to try to get to the customer, and then the app cancels you and sends someone else instead. I don't like that. Uber doesn't do that. So, but I'm as far as, look, if someone needs to go to the airport, I'll take them to LAX. I got no problem taking to LAX. But when it comes to a rematch, no, I'm not doing the rematches anymore. While we're on our way to LAX, I'm gonna say stop future incoming ride requests. And when I'm done dropping them off, I'll drive away. That's how I'm handling the airport from now on. I'm not doing the LAX thing. Um, Not doing it. Let me see. Okay, it's that chicken sandwich I went crazy about. I forgot what restaurant it was. Oh, that's at Popeyes, and it'll be back on Sunday. It's coming back in time for National Sandwich Day, and National Sandwich Day, and they also said in their message that it will be back and they won't have this problem again. So I think what they did was they made sure that they got their logistics right so that they won't have any more shortages like this ever again, and there won't be a problem. It's going to basically, the chicken sandwich will be back and it will be a permanent. We'll see how it goes. Have I picked up any strippers? No. Well, actually, I take that back. I have picked up ladies before at all of the various strip joints. Deja Vu, all three of them. Showgirls, um, the Body Shop on Santa Monica on Sunset Boulevard. Crazy Girls on La Brea. Um, there's one. There's a few in the Valley. I've picked them up at. When I was in Palm Springs, I picked them up at Palm Springs. So yeah, I picked up plenty of strippers. I mean, they usually, what happens is the company does the arrangement, and they'll order a sometimes they do high end, a black or a luxe, but they also do regular X rides as well too. And yeah, I picked up the strippers, and they've all been really cool, very down to earth, easy to talk to. A couple, really didn't want to say anything. They go, they do their job, and that's it. They're tired of being, they go to work, and they got to put up with the antics of the dudes there, and the last thing they feel like doing is engaging with the driver, because they get in the car, they feel like, okay, I'm in real control right now, and I don't want to talk to anybody because I'm done with the day trying to ingratiate myself to somebody. And I get it, so I respect that. Yeah, I used to pick up strippers all the time. Now, because I'm restricting myself to XL and above, I haven't picked up anyone. Plus, the other thing is, usually when you pick up strippers, you tend to pick up strippers about an hour to an hour and a half after after the bar service is over with. Bar service ends at 2 a.m. in LA. And usually what will happen is the stripper will stay at the club until after they know the knuckleheads are gone. Because if they leave right at 2 o'clock, then they're going to have to deal with these dudes harassing her all night long. And she doesn't want that. So she waits until 3:30, 4 o'clock, sometimes 5 o'clock in the morning before they leave, because they know, okay, all the people are gone. You don't have to worry about nothing. You can get in your car and be left alone and do your thing. So yeah. But yeah, I picked up strippers before. Strippers are cool. What about SFO? I watch world news every day, and it's always bad in Detroit. No, strip. They don't do that in the truck. I've never had that happen to me in the truck. Let me see. Let's see. People living in Detroit have a 50% chance of getting shot and killed. Okay. What are your opinions on living in Detroit? I don't have any opinions on living in Detroit. I've never been to Detroit. I've never visited the city. The only significant thing I know about Detroit, um, and Dearborn, Michigan, is a suburb of the area, and there's another city that was headquarters to Chrysler when they were an independent company, because all of it was in the Michigan area, and so that's it. What about a hooker? Did you pick up any hookers before? I have not picked up hookers, but I have had them come to my door, to my window, and you know, it's very sad. This one particular case. It was a young lady. She was really pretty, and she was really young. She looked like she was about 20 years old, but she also looked like she was strung out on crack. And she came to the door, and I was expecting her to ask me for money for food. Instead, she said, and because this is a PG, she was willing to offer her services for only $5. I was completely blown away. I'm like, oh my God, this is so sad. Um, all I could tell her was, no, I'm sorry. I don't have $5, and I'm not into that anyway. But no, this was in downtown. But it was really, really sad because she was so young, and 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 she said it to me like someone who wanted to buy the most inconsequential thing in the world. Like, she's going into a gas station to buy a 99-cent bottle of water. I'm like, I'm a complete stranger, and it blew my mind. It really did. It was unbelievable. I mean, you see this stuff on TV and whatnot, but when it actually happens, I'm like, wow. And the sad thing about it is, when she asked me the question, she was high. I know she was high because I've seen enough people who've been intoxicated to know what they were like, and she was just completely. It was the saddest thing. And the funny thing is, I'll tell you this. I don't know if I would have actually given her the $5 if I had it, just to say, look, you need the $5 so you can get some food. Because the thing is this, in that area where she was, if I had been seen giving her money for any reason, the cops would have had me for solicitation. I'm like, I just gave her $5 because she needed to eat. I'm not trying to solicit her or so like that. But I'm like, nah. I knew well enough to know she needs to move away from my vehicle as quickly as possible. So I'm not trying to catch a case or something like that. Goodness. Wow. Okay, I think I hope y'all didn't see that. Close to Skid Row. Close to Skid Row, but not quite. I'm sorry, I needed to clean out my nose. I don't know, for some reason my nose is stuffy. I don't know why. No. Okay. And it was feeling. Oh, there it is. I was feeling weird, like I had something stuck in my nose, and I found it. So, okay, yeah, I feel much better now. Okay. Goodness, I still gotta shave my face though, man. I don't want this goatee and everything to regrow in, but okay, but that was Lyft. Now he needs LAX with Uber. What are you talking about, Freddie? You lost me. Um, Peterson say no more LAX pickup, only drop off. But that was Lyft. Now he needs LAX with Uber. No, I'm not doing pickups with any of them. I don't want to deal with the LA exit trip, LA exit deal. I only do drop offs. I'm not gonna do pickups. No. Hey, Fred. Oh, by the way, Freddie, I got your email. I hope you got mine because I believe I responded to your email. I got your message. Thank you so much. I only do LAX drop offs. With either Uber or Lyft. I don't do pickups anymore. In fact, I'm gonna go to the hubs, and I'm gonna tell them to remove my ability to do LAX pickups. I don't want to do them anymore. You don't need a permit to drop off at LAX, but you do need a permit to pick up at LAX. Um, I don't want to do. I don't want to ever get caught in that situation with the LA exit lot again. If I have a problem with it, then what I'll do is I will just tell it to stop accepting new ride requests, and then I'll drive away from the airport. I won't turn on the app again until I'm on the freeway. When I'm on the freeway away from the airport, then I'll turn the app on again. I've never received a ride request near the air. Well, I take that back. I've never received a long ride request while I'm at the airport. Because usually if you get an airport request outside the airport, those trips are usually no more than 10 minutes long. They're short trips. You're not going anywhere. So I'll wait until I'm on the freeway and then go from there. The queue goes from 1 to 5 to 30 to 35 and 3. You know, usually with me, with my queue is almost always full all the time. It says can't enter queue. It's full. Okay, I don't worry about it anymore. I very rarely, if I do a pickup, it's because I got a rematch, and I really don't get that many rematches, so I'm not worried about it because I don't depend on the airport anymore. I used to depend on the airport all the time. Um, Pearson, did you get any candies last night Halloween? Um, there was this really cool group of people, and they gave me a package of Whoppers. It made my night. It was so cool because I loved Whoppers when I was a kid. You know the Whoppers. They got the cheap chocolate on top, and they're like rice balls in the middle, but they're sweetened rice balls. It's like a chocolate covered Rice Krispie. I love Whoppers. They're great. Anyway, it was 3 little Whoppers, and I ate them on the spot. I couldn't eat them fast enough. They weren't even out the truck, and I was done with the package. It was so cool. Yeah. What's with these LAX drivers, Surge Club? They always try to screw you with rematch at the airport and not pay surge. Yeah, they always do that at the airport with the rematch, not pay the surge. So, you know. Thanks, Freddie. I appreciate that. Not sure never except until it gets 6 but then the whole lot goes online. Oh wow, that's something. 5 in the wait list. Turn it cars for everybody in Search Club with Uber. Yeah, I don't play those serious days. Right now, my last day in LA, I don't know. Because I may not move at this point. I may actually stay. And I've also decided to push my last day on rideshare to December 31st. I want to turn in the truck on January 1st. I may do it earlier, but what I need to do is I need to keep this truck long enough so I make enough money to buy that Yukon, or I mean buy that Envoy, or I get something else. I can't leave rideshare until I have a vehicle of my own, and so because what's going to happen is this: when I have the Envoy, I'm only going to drive this truck till I make $500, and that's it. When I make the $500, it's going to be parked, and I'll be doing my own thing. I'll keep it. It says, look, you know what? I'll drive Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll be able to make the money then, and I can make the money on one tank of gas across those 3 days, and then I'll be doing what I want to do for the rest of the days. I might pay my mom some money so I can transfer vehicles back and forth and do it like that. Excuse me. But depending on rideshare for my revenue, I'm tired of it. I'll drive just long enough to keep everybody happy and go from there, and that's it. I might tell them I'll let it go December 1st, and I won't keep it till January 1st. We'll see. I don't know. I really want to get rid of this truck. I wanted to get rid of this truck last month. So, because I just don't want to do this anymore. I really don't. Is Dino doing good or bad with the battery? You need a jump start. I have a brand new battery. I bought a new battery today. That's why I made this video, because I bought a brand new battery, and I will have it installed tomorrow. And I decided, rather than drive and make money with that, I'll just take it easy today. And I'll start making the money tomorrow. I'm not going to push myself hard with the battery, because I literally, at this point, I feel I only have maybe 5 or 6 more starts left, and then that's it. I won't be able to start the vehicle again without a jump start. I'm not worried about being reimbursed for the battery. If I'm reimbursed for the battery, great. If not, I'm not going to cry over it. I just want to make the money necessary so I can walk away from this very very clean and go from there. I don't want a Dodge Caravan. I don't have the money to buy a Dodge Caravan. I'm not doing. After I'm out of this truck, I won't be doing rideshare anymore. I'll be doing Postmates, but I'm not investing any more time or money into rideshare. I do not want to do the work anymore. Right now I'm doing what I have to fulfill the terms of my agreement with this truck, and to make the money necessary so I can get the Envoy. But once I get the Envoy, first of all, the Envoy is 2004, so I won't even be able to use the Envoy for rideshare because the vehicle will be too old. Even though it's clean enough and it's got the space to do it, I don't want to do it. Because Uber changed the requirements. See, before you had to have model years or newer, and that means you can go no lower. In this case, you can go no lower than a 2000. Well, it's 2019, so you can't go lower than a 2004. But if you're going to do this, you want to have a car that's at least 2 model years ahead. So that means you want to get nothing older than a 2006. So no, I have no plans of continuing with rideshare. When I'm done with this, I'm gonna let my accounts expire, and go from there. Like Uber's been sending me emails on my regular UberX account, trying to get me to come back or so. I've ignored them. I've got my Uber Black account. I use my Lyft account every day, but then eventually the Uber Black account will go dormant, and then the Lyft account will go dormant, and I'll be doing something else. And you know, by the time I turn it in, I'll call Uber and Lyft, and I'll tell them you can just go ahead and delete my accounts and keep them locked up, because I won't be driving anymore for them. I don't want to do the work. So, um, you know, I other than the fact that you get paid instantly, but see, the thing is, look at what you have to go through to get paid instantly. And my heart isn't in it anymore. I'm ready to move on to do something else. So, well, you know, the thing about working in the Uber hub is you are an employee at the Uber hub, and you get the hub. When you work at the Uber hub, you are not allowed to drive on rideshare. They will not let you drive on rideshare. You can only one or the other. If you want to do rideshare, great. If not, you got to drive. You stay in the hub, but you're not allowed to drive on the service. But then again, it's like this: why would you want to drive on the rideshare side of things? So, what about getting an old Prius? I'm not interested in getting an old Prius because, for one, getting an old Prius. No, I don't hate the Prius. It's just that I don't hate the Prius. It's just at the end of the day, for one thing, to get a Prius required me to have $6,000, unless there's something cheaper out there, and I just don't have $6,000 to buy a Prius, and I'm not willing to make payments on the vehicle. So, you know, I can pull together $2,000. I'll push myself on rideshare to do $2,000, but I'm not going to push myself to do $5,000. Um, and besides, the fact is this: if I get a Prius, what am I going to use it for? I'm not gonna do it on rideshare. Um, the thing is, rideshare to me is a dead end when it comes down to it, and I'm just not motivated to do the work, and I'm not going to try to convince myself to change my mind about it either. I've done all I want to do with rideshare, and I'm going to leave it behind. Now I will keep doing Postmates. Um, I tried DoorDash, and ultimately I like Postmates better. I've never done Grubhub. I never did Caviar. I never did any of the other deals or so. But I'll keep doing Postmates. I like doing Postmates, and I'll just be content with making $150 a day on Postmates. You know, going, picking up stuff, delivering to them, driving them, doing short runs like that, and just keeping a little bit of money in my pocket. And I'll do Postmates on a part-time basis. As far as is concerned, I would rather own a battery powered car, a Chevy Cruze or a Nissan Leaf, something affordable in that range. You know, I may even get a Fiat 500e, get one of those cars. But you know, once I'm past the point where I don't need the Envoy anymore for shelter, because that's the main reason why I'm getting the vehicle, for shelter. Um, I'm getting an electric car after that. Um, that's where I am with all of this right now. So, hope that makes a little sense for you. Um, Yeah, Dino is doing all right though, but yeah, the battery, it's the car is running right now. It's just I think I have maybe 5 or 6 more starts on it. Like the battery, the voltage it's about 12 volts right now. Before I did this live stream, it was at 10 volts. So now they do the battery test on it, and the last battery test they did on it, it only had 76 cold cranking amps available, and now they do a battery test and it's indeterminate because the voltage is just too low. So after this live stream, I'm driving to where the mechanic is, and I will be parked out there all night long. And when he comes in the morning, I'm gonna say, hey, I got a brand new battery in the back, and I need it installed for the vehicle, so I can get out here and start driving. And that's what I'll be doing, and I'll have to generate the money on him. So let me see. Will you getting the Popeye chicken? Yes, Jordan. I absolutely will get the spicy chicken sandwich. I will have it on November 3rd. I absolutely plan on doing it, and I will make a live stream video for that effect. In fact, what I'm probably going to do, this will probably be the only video that I will pre-announce, so you'll know that it's coming, because it's going to be a live stream video, a live reaction video to the spicy chicken sandwich. So look for that, because I will be online when I get it. I don't know what the crowd reaction is going to be when I get to the store. Um, if the sandwich tastes as good as it did before, and if people go really nuts over it, then it'll be long lines again. It'll be a while before I get one. But I will do a live reaction for this, because I did the live reaction for the regular spicy chicken sandwich. I mean, for the regular sandwich. That's the one I had, was the regular sandwich, but I never got to taste the spicy chicken sandwich. And see, I can tell you, from all the sandwiches I had, from Chick-fil-A, um, 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 Carl's Jr., Wendy's, McDonald's, Jack in the Box, the regular chicken sandwich is great, but the spicy chicken sandwich is in a league all to itself. Like at Chick-fil-A, I only get the spicy chicken now because it's better than the regular chicken sandwich, and I think the spicy chicken sandwich is nice. And I can tell you this, at Chick-fil-A, they've made a change to what they put on the bun to more mimic the taste of the Popeyes sandwich. It's very fascinating. I get the spicy deluxe because I like the tomato and the lettuce and the Colby Jack cheese. I like the whole 9 yards on it. So, but yeah, I get the spicy sandwiches now. Something special about those spicy sandwiches. So, let me see. I was under the impression that if I didn't renew my LAX permit, I wouldn't get any rides going to LAX. Was I wrong? I don't like the airport. Um, with Lyft and Uber as a TNC driver, your permit is valid for as long as you operate the vehicle um, at the airport. You have to get a new permit every time you change vehicles. If you get a different license plate number, you have to get a different permit. And I've had so many LAX permits, because usually, because I work both platforms, I have to get two permits, one for Lyft, one for Uber. It's fairly quick enough, but still you have to do it. Um, the the drivers who have a TCP, they have to renew every year. If they don't renew their TCP, they're unable to pick up at LAX. Because now they give you these special transponders, and if you don't have the transponder and you're going there to pick up someone, and you don't go and pay the trip ticket at the trip ticket booth, next door to the TNC lot, then that's a fairly expensive ticket you're going to get. Um, I don't. What you might want to do for the airport thing is go to the hubs and just ask them for a new permit if you're worried about it being renewed. If you're just a TNC driver, the permit is completely free, and they'll give it to you on the spot, and then that way you're covered. You shouldn't have to. If you have to renew the permit, it's probably going to be on a Uber part, and the reason why with Uber is technically it's expired because it's referencing back to Razor LLC, when you really should be getting the permit authorized for Uber Technologies Incorporated. Lyft's permit is good because Lyft, at least they did everything right from the beginning. They didn't change companies and all that craziness. Let me see. Okay. You think the McChicken sandwich is better than the Popeyes chicken sandwich? God bless you. Oh my goodness, God bless you. Still have chicken sandwich. Yep, well, the chicken sandwich from Popeyes will be available on Sunday, and it will be a permanent part of the menu. It is a good sandwich, but I personally still think the Chick-fil-A sandwich is better. Oh goodness, they do say there's a new chicken sandwich coming out from McDonald's though, but I don't think it's going to be good. They put too many preservatives in their food, so we'll see. But I'm not convinced from McDonald's at all. Let me see. Yang is a confirmed troll? Probably so. But I'll answer the majority of his questions. But you never know. We'll see. Hey, look, Jordan asks me decent questions. He's not too intrusive. He asks decent questions, and so I'm like, hey, he's respectful and all like that. So, but there's certain questions that Andrew Yang likes to ask, and he knows why I'm not going to answer those questions. So, because I will tell you this, I see every single comment that comes through here, and if I don't answer your question, there is a reason why. So, that's the thing. Let's see. Okay, what would the gas cost for the 2004 car you're saving to buy if you're earning $150 a day on Postmates? I don't know the fuel size tank of the Yukon, I don't know the fuel size of the Envoy. But I'll tell you this, I do not plan on doing Postmates full time. When I get the Envoy, the reason why I'm getting the Envoy is a 22-gallon tank. Okay, thank you. That's very helpful. My primary reason for getting the Envoy is because I need it for shelter. That's my main reason why I'm getting it. I need a vehicle that protects me from the elements. The reason why I still have this truck is because in addition to making money with this truck and getting around the city, the area with this truck is also my primary source of shelter. I do have a secondary source, but this is the primary. So I need to release myself from making weekly payments on this truck. That's the key. I need a vehicle that I own outright. It's mine, it's free and clear, and it works. I need to free myself from Rideshare. So getting a new vehicle with car payments is not an option for me. It's unacceptable. I need something that is mine, but I don't want to look like a chump. So getting a cheap Toyota or a cheap Honda or an ugly American car, those are not acceptable. Those aren't acceptable for me either. I need something that is reasonably presentable. And if, for example, I go somewhere where a valet has to move the vehicle or so, they won't be embarrassed to get in it and drive it. I've had cars like that before where valets will come to me and say, hey man, you know what? You can go in ahead and move your own car. We'll tell you where to take it to. You know, I remember I was working in Century City, and I had a 1986 Nissan Maxima SE, and it had a bad muffler on it. So whenever I started it up, it made noise. And you know, it was an old car. It was clean, but it was old. The car had 400,000 miles on it. Garage, and the valets would thumb their nose at me and say, "Oh no, we ain't moving your car, man. You can park your car on your own." And so I went to them and I said, I tell you what, I said, one day I'm going to come up in here with a brand new car and y'all going to be running to move my car, because you know, if I got a new car, I'll be tipping you as well too. And I'm not going to let you drive that car. I'm going to move it myself because you guys don't want to move my car here. I said, okay, cool, no problem. I didn't have a name for the Nissan back then, and I don't have a name for it today. But one day I closed a big deal. I had a deal I closed, and I had a down payment to get me a brand new Honda Civic Hybrid. It was silver with dark blue interior, and it had navigation. It was a fully loaded hybrid. And I pulled in with that car. And if you guys saw that scene, if you saw the Devil Wears Prada, and remember when Andy came in and she was wearing that couture, and she had those shoes on, the boots, and she had the dress, and Ibly and the other chick, they mouths just dropped. And they were talking about her, and then she went and answered the phone, and then she sat down, and then Emily said, are those the, and Emily said, yes, I'm wearing the Chanel boots. And you talk about the hate. Well, that's what I got when I pulled in there with my brand new Honda Civic Hybrid. They came in and their mouths were dropped. They couldn't believe it. I said, yeah, I got a brand new car. I told y'all I was gonna get a brand new car, and I also told y'all ain't moving it either. And it was that's how it was. Well, when I look for a car now, what I'm looking for first and foremost is I need a car that's clean, inside and out. And the reason why I want this vehicle is because it's just that. See, when I get this car, I'm going to get the best detail possible at the car wash I go to right now. And they're gonna fully wash and wax the outside, completely clean the inside, scrub the seats, scrub the floor mats, and that car is just going to be totally and completely fabulous. It's going to be great. It's going to be clean. I'm going to take care of that truck. But I won't be driving it full time for Postmates, making $150 a day like that. I will only make the money as I need to make it, because I plan on having a standard job once I'm done with Rideshare. I won't be doing Postmates on a full-time basis. Just, to fill in the gaps for, having some daily pay in my pocket until, the whole thing switches over and I'll be all right. So I got a long way to go to get myself back together. I know exactly how I'm going to do it, and I have a plan, and it's going to take me a number of years to get it together, but I'll be okay. I know I will. So you seem to know much about cars. What is this hydrogen car? How do they work? Are they better than the hybrid or electric? Oh, Eric, that's a long conversation. and but mentally I'm drained, and for me to go into it, I'm going to end up going back and forth. But but in my personal opinion, that's a tough one, and the reason why is for three very important reasons. Number one, there is a shortage of hydrogen right now. So with hydrogen, um, currently, hydrogen is manufactured from natural gas. They take the hydrogen, they take the natural gas, and they break down the atoms so that it can extract the hydrogen from the natural gas. It's an expensive process, and it takes time to do it. Before, um, you really didn't need too many. There weren't too many users of hydrogen. You had the space shuttle that used hydrogen, but beyond that, not too many other industries needed pure hydrogen. Now you have these fuel cell cars coming on the market that use hydrogen, and there's a shortage. So the thing about the hydrogen cars, I'll tell you this: those vehicles, they the fuel cost is subsidized by the manufacturers for about 3 years, and then after that, you start paying for the hydrogen. To refill a hydrogen powered car completely is about $70, and you're going to get maybe 325 miles range from a hydrogen car. Um, but that might change. I haven't checked hydrogen prices in a while. I don't know. But the thing about hydrogen is it still depends on a petroleum source in order to get the hydrogen to fill the car. Now, a hydrogen vehicle ultimately is an electric car. The difference is the conversion from the hydrogen to the electric happens on board in the vehicle. And then you have it driving, a fuel stack does its thing and converts, and the only emission from the vehicle is water. They said that you shouldn't drink the water, technically the water is totally clean. You can do it. I mean, they've had examples where people did actually drink the water, but it's like it seems creepy to do that, to drink water that's coming out of the car. Um, One benefit of having a hydrogen powered car is that the refilling the tank takes roughly the same amount of time as it does to refill a gasoline powered vehicle. So you have that. That's the benefit there. But one big disadvantage of having a hydrogen powered vehicle is you really can't get the car going much farther out of Southern California or out of San Francisco or out of certain areas, because the vehicles are only available here in California and maybe in Nevada. They're not nationwide. You can't take a hydrogen powered car and drive it across the country to New York, but you can do that with a battery powered car. Today you can drive an electric powered car across the country. There's some remote spots you probably can't take the vehicle, but these are places you probably would never go anyway. Um, the industry seems to be going more so towards battery electric vehicles, and the reason why is because it's easier to do home charging with those cars. You can't do home charging with hydrogen right now, but you can do home charging with an electric vehicle. Um, and there aren't a lot of manufacturers who are really committing to hydrogen. You've got the Toyota Mirai, that's 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 fuel cell. You've got the Honda Clarity. It has a fuel cell, but that vehicle is only available for lease, and you they make you qualify for that car. Not just anybody can get the vehicle. And I think the thing about the Honda Clarity is that as soon as one gets to a dealership that's available for lease, it's instantly taken up. Same thing with the Clarity Electric. As soon as the Clarity Electric is taken up, is and it's gone, and it's just for lease. The only Clarity you can buy and own is the plug-in hybrid. But the problem with the plug-in hybrid from the Clarity, it does not have DC fast charging. So you're getting a car that operates as a hybrid, and you can plug that. The car really isn't selling all that well, even though you see them on the road. I think the Clarity is one of the best hybrid plug-in hybrids out there, space-wise, looks-wise, technology inside the car. Um, but I don't know. I like the Mirai. I drove the Mirai when they first came out, and I was very impressed with the performance. Some of the best seats, front and rear. The interior was great, well laid out. The exterior, it takes some getting used to it. Look, it's a controversial looking car when it comes down to it, and they want to really make a real statement with the car. But the replacement for the Mirai, now that car looks hot. It looks like the replacement for the Mirai coming out in 2020. It looks like it was a rejected proposal for the ES, for the Lexus ES, and what they did was they looked at it and said, you know what, we want to do something different with the ES. We'll use this for the Mirai instead. That's what I think the 2020 Mirai is. And then what they did, they went a step further with the 2020 Mirai, and they're making it a rear drive car, which is amazing if they're doing that. So we'll see. It looks sensational. They did a really good job with the upcoming Mirai. It'll probably have 5 seats because the current Mirai only has 4 seats. So we'll see. No job pays more than $150 a day. There are plenty of jobs that pay more than $150 a day. I made $200 as a bus operator, driving, but I was driving 12 hours a day every day, but I made $200 a day. That was my goal with rideshare, with being a bus operator. So, and there are plenty of people that make far more than that because they have salary jobs that pay them $100,000 a year. So yeah, got plenty of jobs that pay great money, pay more than $150 a year. Where are you sleeping tonight? That hasn't changed. It's not going to change probably for another year. That's that. Let me see. Andrew Yang, dangerous and unpleasant jobs pay well too. $6,000 more. One guy can do that in 3 days. Yeah, plenty of great jobs that pay that kind of money. So no, that statement is not accurate at all. Let me see. Oh wow. Okay. I'd rather drive biodiesel than hydrogen. Well, yeah, I think biodiesel is actually pretty clean when you consider it, because biodiesel, it's made essentially from recycled kitchen grease. I heard the stories of people who will go and they'll use kitchen grease that they feel is used up, and they'll go and they'll get it and they'll just simply pour it in the tank, and they'll use that to drive the cars. And because it's made from vegetable oils, it does the job, and you're not putting out any crazy harmful emissions like petroleum does. And it works. And for some people, you park next to the car and it smells great. It's like, ooh, that car smells like fried chicken. Ooh, that car smells like fried fish. And you have no problem with that because because it's biodiesel and it works. It's a good deal. So, but I don't want to put any emissions into the air. That's my whole thing. I'm an advocate for that now. I don't want to put emissions in the air. Come December, it'll be hard to hit 100 in a day unless you get a unicorn, right? Well, that depends on your perspective. Come January, that'll be difficult. December, I think will be fine. January is what's going to be hard. January, February, March. That's what's going to be hard. Let's see here. All right, everybody. I think I'm gonna hang it up now. I'm getting on that part where I'm getting kind of tired now. Anybody else have any other questions for me? Anything else that's going on? Any statements or so like that? Eric, I will come back and I will answer your question. By the time my channel is addressed, you know exactly how I feel about that. Um, about the vehicles. Let me see. I'm gonna take a picture of your question there. Let me see. I keep I keep doing the wrong way because I'm trying to get this screenshot. There we go. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get the picture of your question, Eric, so I can form a question. I can do a what you call it. No, I have to go because see, it's 10:55. It's 11 o'clock. This is where I start shutting down, and I have to drive across the valley because I have to get to where I need to be so I can be ready in the morning. And I have to drive. The cops are out here in force. I almost got a ticket for using my phone while driving. Motor cop was behind me, and I was slick. I dodged a bullet, but and I'm not trying to keep this phone on while I'm driving. So unless anyone else have any questions or any important statements they want to make to me or so like that, I'm gonna go on ahead and shut it down for the night. I appreciate y'all being here with me, hanging out. It really means a lot. I appreciate it so much. I do. Um, Thank you, y'all, the super troopers, and y'all keep me motivated to keep doing the videos here. That's why I'm coming out with the new channel, and why this channel will continue on as well too. All right, everybody. Good night. I will catch you next time.